Chicago is calling Husker fans. You could win a trip or two to watch Nebraska volleyball at historic Wrigley Field. We'll fly you there, put you up for 2 nights in downtown Chicago, hook you up with game tickets, and even give you $150 to enjoy the city. Listen for the Road to Wrigley Sounder on 1620 The Zone. Then head to 1620thezone.com to enter for your chance to win this incredible experience. Presented by Union Bank and Trust. At UBT, people don't have your money has people. Member FDIC at 1620 The Zone.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, good morning and welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's Happer and Schaefer. You're on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, and Joey Arcola with you this morning. Hi, fellas.
Good morning, Connor, and good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Joey, and good morning, Connor.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We're
It's
in
a
a
new world.
Yeah, we're in a brand new studio. Some people are frazzled, others are fine.
Look at this.
This is great. Turn your mic.
I turned it off.
You good?
We good?
You good?
We're figuring it out.
All right. I think this is awesome. This is fantastic. We have a new studio. If you were listening yesterday to any of the shows, I'm sure this was mentioned. I don't think we knew officially that yesterday, as it was happening, we didn't get a retirement tour over next door, the studio that kind of shares a wall with this space. That's okay. We'll have to go without our rocking chairs and our signed souvenirs and things like that and our gifts. That's okay. We just go into a new world today. No retirement tour for us. This is fantastic.
Like in baseball, they do the dirt thing, like they give dirt from the stadiums. Like, do you think we'd all get a little square of carpet from there?
That's a great idea.
That's a possibility.
We could go. I mean, I went in there to grab because this our ball deal was still in there. My tiny balls were still in there, and so I went to grab it this morning. And there was just a bunch of wires in there. It's a little scary in there, a little graveyard-ish. So if you want to, there's some free wires I think that you can grab.
I got a phone call last night around, what would have been, like 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically, hey, do you have this cord? Do you have this? What is your computer set up? And I was like, oh, are we moving studios this week? And the response told to me was, we've reached a point of no return. We cannot go back.
That's the way it goes.
Either you're going to be in the new studio or we've got to figure this out.
As a person who has been involved in an overnight studio / board change before, you do reach that point and you're just like, well, we can't go any further. And oftentimes what happens is the people who end up fixing it or changing it are here until 3:00 in the morning because that's how it goes. And that's exactly what happened last night. So shout out to the engineers who have been working hard on this all week, some of which I don't know their names, some of which are named Chris Prudon, some of which are named Josh Odson, who is doubling as an engineer this week as well, because I received
a lot of hats.
I received multiple emails from Josh Odson right around 3:00 in the morning last night. That was 3 hours ago.
Yes, it was.
Josh was in here 3 hours ago, probably farting and just getting things ready to rock for us.
It woke you up, Joey? You have like a sounder for emails?
This is another thing I was confused about. Great question, Schaefer.
It was on silent, but if I get priority notifications, it will reach out to me. It won't be impacted by the do not disturb.
It breaks through the do not disturb because it's been noted as priority.
It was the vibration on the nightstand.
Gotcha. So are you a light sleeper, Joey?
Yeah,
it feels like you would be a light sleeper.
It's dependent on the night.
I gotta say nothing about that.
At least there was no soccer on at all last night. Sad that there's no soccer on today, but thankfully there was no games on at night, so I got to go to sleep early.
You go to bed you went 7. You go down at 7.
8:30.
Okay,
But you know what doesn't change, Connor?
Yeah.
Just our visibility.
I can see half your face.
I know.
This is awesome.
I have to lean,
and with a little bit of tweaking. It's not a reset. We're tweaking. It's not a reset. We're tweaking. I could probably see your face all the time if I wanted to. Also, I think if you guys can hear this in your ears, some folks have commented on this already. The sound sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this.
I checked the stream on YouTube. It sounds good.
This is awesome.
I'm doing something right.
Debo,
I'm happy about it.
Who I know to be an audio expert, writes in on YouTube. He says sound quality is taking a jump up too. Mike needs some softer lighting. We're doing all the visual components sort of as we speak. We'll get some shades behind us so that you won't see funny reflections.
The only way I can see Joey's face is either through the stream or through the stream on my square because I'm using the reflection. Otherwise, he's just completely blocked out for me by the giant light here.
But I love this because it really gives. I'm dead serious. I've always thought this. This is why I wanted this to be the studio that we moved to, because I do feel like this is more. You get the if we're gonna be on video, you get the feel that we are in a city. You can see cars going on in the background. I love when I watch shows around the country, which I'm a weirdo, so I do this sometimes. I watch shows from around the country, and you could sort of like tell, or they give off the appearance that they're in sort of a nice like high-rise building or whatever. And we do not have this here at our studios at Usher Media Group in Omaha. We have a lovely building, but we don't have like this high-rise. Like we don't get.
We are slightly above ground.
We are above ground, right? And so you look in the background, and there is Dodge Street. Occasionally,
I could give out the traffic report like I used to before being the morning show producer.
Wow.
And you know, occasionally, probably it's happened 3 or 4 times since I've been here in the last 5 years. There will be an accident that happens right out there. And so we will actually be able to show it to you instead of, you know, just describing the action.
We got video evidence.
And we have rights. We have video rights to everything that happens on Dodge Street, obviously, as well. I've received a text from Chris. He says, listening to it, sounding good. He left as he was, getting this thing ready to go. He left 5 minutes before Joey got here. Apparently.
Wow.
Joey, when did you get here today? Because you did this whole thing where you woke up and then you just showed up to work. When did you get here?
I got here probably about 4:40. I'm like, you know what? Let's get here early. Let's get my headlines out of the way, get that. And then I see we got some newer guests on today. So I decided I decided to get everything ready to go.
Completely new guests on today.
I wanted to get everything ready to go so then I could just sit in the studio for like 45 minutes just to get familiar with things.
This is why we like Joey. I fear sometimes that your anxiety cripples, you can cripple, but we do love your preparedness.
Oh, there's no question that Joey was going to be prepared.
It's a little bit of both because it's something new, and then you got to understand it's the first day of something new, and we'll grow from pretty much what happens on the first day.
We're laying the base. We're laying the base, baby. And soon enough, God willing, there will be a big clock in this room. And then Matt will be able to tell time. Because we're unsure if he could tell time on an analog, like on a clock with arms.
It would be interesting if you started it on military time to see how much he would struggle.
It'd be very confusing.
Particularly because his show crosses the divide there.
It does go into 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could see him being very upset by this.
What time is it? Luckily, that's not the case for us because we do a morning show. So we have plenty of things coming up today on the show, which is from a brand new studio here at 1620 The Zone, which we are very, very excited about. So as you guys have noticed, our guest situation is like very, very much up in the air this week. We've had some moving and some shaking. Today is no different. So as you heard Joey mention, there are some different guests today. Alan True will join us via Rivals on 3. He was actually mentioned by Tim Verghese yesterday as a guy who was joining in on a variety of different recruiting predictions. So we'll get some questions for him during, as we go on throughout this summer recruiting period, coming up at 8:30 today. And then Lauren's out doing another story today, I think. And so Andy Kendi is going to hit for Lauren, which I'm excited about because last time I want to ask Andy about his Diet Coke consumption at the College World Series. Did you hear this segment on Matt's show? I haven't heard anything about this. So he was on Matt's show and he was like, yeah, I drink 12 Diet Cokes a day or some absurd number. We'll have to have him, straighten it out first of all. And then I want to ask him some follow-up questions, obviously, to that. So we will do that coming up at 9:15 today. Elsewhere on the show, there's a Nebraska football take out there in the Takeosphere that I would like us to react to here on this show. That's
the take market.
The take market, yeah. And we're not even the creators. We're not even. We're just.
No, we're deciding if we're buying or selling the take.
Yeah, I guess we're not the merchant.
Purveyors.
We're the customers. So we're going shopping a little bit and seeing if we agree. Not hot take market. Very, very different from that. Yesterday was Big 12. The first day of Big 12 Media Days, and there were some things that happened at Big 12 Media Days, which I'm excited to talk about.
There was one of the things I noticed that came out of this is people were imploring Scott Frost to find some socks. He apparently was like sockless. Was he doing like the short pants
I did not see a full
Like high
body.
waters with the loafers with no socks.
I did not see a
or-
full body picture of Scott Frost. I did see, and I use it for my We Are Doing a Radio Show picture today. I did see him. He does look like, I mean, his hair is a little bit longer and he goes with the spiky hair in the front. He looks like he is
finding himself.
No, he looks like he's trying to bring back something from like a style from the early 2000s. Either that or he doesn't care. And I'm really not sure with him because he has nice, like oftentimes he's wearing nice shoes, and he decided to cinch up his tie this year, which was really, really nice, but I didn't see the sock no socks.
Yeah, so apparently he was wearing socks. He just has ankle cut socks and then kind of a shorter, hem of the suit pants.
I thought that was the trend.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see exactly what had happened, but I just saw that there was quite a few people commenting on his bare ankles, I guess.
I thought
As
he
if he's
was
a
being
flapper
cool.
from the 1920s.
Dave says Frost is going for the boy band reunion tour look. He really kind of is. That's what it sort of looks like to me. So we will have some thoughts from Big 12 Media Days coming up on the show today. Something that I missed, the common take that is coming out of the U.S. Soccer World Cup loss that I'd like to discuss today. A non-conference schedule for Creighton basketball came out. Debo,
Some say schedules.
I did not go to practice yesterday.
Oh, no.
I know.
You can't bring us any Creighton news on your own?
I don't have. Well, I could bring you the Creighton news that I received like everybody else did yesterday, but nothing proprietary or anything like that. No takes on Wes Enos yet.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'll get over there at some point. No concerns about that. So I apologize for that. And we'll have a Royals edition of This Week in Baseball.
Okay.
The Royals game was one of the most interesting games I've watched last night. It was a lot of fun.
Was it the 3 errors in the first inning?
On one play?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it.
Okay.
And then a major league record being tied. And then a grand total of, let's see here, 28 runs being scored in the game. So, yeah, I'd say it was pretty interesting.
It was interesting to note that score throughout the evening.
No doubt. So we'll have This Week in Baseball coming up today on the show as well. Want to hear from you all, 402-951-1620. You, that's right, you could be the first person to call in to 402-951-1620 on the still Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline from our new studio. Now, we don't have like Rob Anderson on site here to keep track of, ballpark firsts and things like that. Although I got the list from Rob at the end of baseball season of all the ballpark records. And they're so much fun to look through because they're hilarious. So you could be the first caller. You could make 1620 the zone history. Now, I don't know. We'll have to get the historians on this a little bit later on throughout the day. Like John and Josh would certainly know better than anyone in this studio right now. But this 1620 the zone has moved multiple times over the years. And so this being the first time, I don't know if this is actually the first show in this studio ever, or if it's just the first show in the studio again.
Oh, that's a great question.
Because I think it was back there. Whatever it is.
I think they used to be where Power 106.9 used to be, and I think where 1180 used to be is where the producer's room was.
Okay,
if I'm remembering right.
All right, so I do think you're right, Joey. So I do think this is the first 1620 the zone show ever from this room. In fact, this is the first show from this room, live show from this room in several months after Sweet 98.5 moved out.
April,
and they went. I feel like it was
May?
longer than that, even potentially.
I feel like it was after the NCAA tournament.
It was around April, I think.
Okay. So you could be the first to call 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline and the first to call in our brand new studio. Whatever you'd like to talk about, just head our way. You can tweet at us at @HappenSchafe, at Connor Happer, at Mike J. Schaefer on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. You can email Connor, Mike, or Joey at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to our YouTube streamers who are noticing Oh, actually, this is a text from Cody. he's noticed as he's watching on the video stream, it appears there are stairs behind Schaefer. How do listeners get access to them so we can watch live? Well, it appears as if you could just walk up them, although I would not recommend it. Don't do that.
No, not a good idea.
Those are our fire exit stairs. There is a separate door.
This ain't college game day. You can't just show up with signs and try to get on the Zone TV.
Don't do that.
Not a good idea.
It's funny, but don't do it.
Now, in theory, you could go stand across the street with your sign.
Yeah, go across in the neighborhood with all these houses.
And you would be visible.
Somewhat.
Now, the reflection of Joey and everything would probably cut into it.
Well, and then the
true.
Things will change throughout the day, too, as the sun, I don't know what the sun situation is going to give us as far as this glare and reflection off this window is concerned. But I'm excited to find out. We're all doing this for the first time today. There is an excitement unlike anything I've seen in this studio. Dave writes in, he says, orders a Wazoo flag on Amazon. That'd be funny. We should put a 1620 The Zone flag up in the background, just in the purview.
What would be the nickname for the flag? Wazoo would be Old Crimson.
Oh, that's true. 1620 the flag. I guess it would have to be as much as I'm weirded out by that. But it would be funny if during the show, as you were watching us on video, we were just having normal conversation. There was just a person in the background planting a 1620 The Zone flag, like he was landing on the moon or something like that.
Or World War II. I think John, Josh, and Odson and Matt could just plant the flag like it was World War II.
They all do it together. They're like struggling to put it up.
That
in honor of 4th of July weekend, we just passed through.
Interesting idea.
I like that one.
402-951-1620. That is how you get in touch with the show today and every day, regardless of which studio 1620 The Zone is located in. Off and running on a Wednesday. Plenty to come on Happer and Schaefer and 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt.
Exciting day. Bill Steele out on the newsstands. You're done with the ESPN.
Read plenty.
It was just sort of a primer.
It's a primer.
Wet your whistle.
I don't know. I hate that.
You hate Wet Your Whistle?
I hate Wet Your Whistle.
Why?
Flo Rida ruined it for me.
I don't think that song's about whistling, guys.
I mean, it's about blowing a whistle.
I don't think it's about blowing a whistle.
But he says whistle and blowing every time.
I think it's one of those metaphors.
Middays with Matt. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, lane closure reported on West Center between 90th and 84th. Another lane closure on I-80 westbound between Giles and L Street. Slight delays on I-80 westbound between I-680 and Q Street. Still no accidents reported this time. It's still pretty early in the morning, but I'm glad to be here with you. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Plumrite.
If your old water heater is on its last legs, don't wait. Plumrite makes it easy to trade in your old water heater by offering $1,000 off your new one. Change out your old water heater today and get it done right with Plumrite.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. Doesn't matter where you get your pre-approval. As a consumer, you have lots of choices when it comes to getting a mortgage pre-approval. You can go online or a mortgage professional like Mortgage Specialists. However, not every lender is the same. Online processing tools can pre-approve you in minutes, but it's more likely very inaccurate. We recommend that prospective buyers get pre-approved by a local lender. When you work with reputable local lenders, the pre-approval means what it means. You get a real evaluation of what you can borrow, and you and your real estate agent can have peace of mind through the entire process. Find out about pre-approvals and more when you subscribe to Mortgage Matters in Minutes on our YouTube channel. Just search Mortgage Specialists LLC.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
As Omaha gets bigger, local care matters more than ever. At MD West One, we're proud to be physician-owned, community-focused, and dedicated to providing specialized care. That's why Omaha has voted us first place for Best Orthopedic Clinic, Best Neurosurgery and Spine Clinic, and Best Private Practice this year. Thank you for choosing MD West One as your hometown team for orthopedic, neurosurgery, spine, and pain care. Meet our team of specialists at mdwest1.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Mike Schaefer here. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means right here in Nebraska. Win or go home. That's it. That's the World Cup. They are now in the quarterfinals, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now live in Nebraska, so whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Nebraska, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1620. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1620 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo.
Disagree with every word out of our mouths? Tell us how you feel on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
So when I saw this yesterday, I kind of thought nothing of it. It's Big 12 Media Days, and the Big 12 is coming out with, as Brett Yormark said, and you'll hear a little bit later on in the show, it's a celebration of the teams that are in the conference, blah, 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 whatever, but also a good time to announce some things. And the Big 12 announced yesterday that they are in agreement with Monster Energy. Matt McMaster, very excited about this. Co-branded Big 12 Monster patches that will appear on a variety of different things throughout the league. So I saw that headline yesterday and I thought, all right, cool. The Big 12 and Monster are going to be friends. That's great. And you'll see some Monster branding all over the place, and it'll be the Monster Big 12 championship game, or, you know, whatever it is, even though it seems like sacrilege to take away Dr. Pepper from all of that stuff. But whatever it is, it doesn't bother me on none. And then I looked into it a little bit yesterday. And the Sports Business Journal did some reporting on the actual terms of this agreement. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this, Dana?
No, I haven't seen that.
Nothing more than what you mentioned on the rundown and what I'm looking at here in this tweet that was mentioned on the rundown.
So $20 million is the deal with Monster. So $20 million Monster is giving the Big 12 Conference to make the company the quote entitlement partner of Big 12 football, men's and women's basketball in the regular season. This is from the Sports Business Journal yesterday. The deal, which Commissioner Brett Yormark is planning to unveil Tuesday, this is from before Big 12 Media Day started yesterday, is expected to pay member schools around $1 million annually, which is, I don't know, forgive me here, seems like sort of a drop in the bucket with everything, but I guess $1 million is $1 million. Monster will cover the costs of installing new logos in a variety of different places. Like, oh, okay, Monster is going to cover the costs of installing these logos. These logos will be present on every men's and women's basketball jersey and on every single football field in the Big 12 Conference for $20 million.
So schools basically will get around 1.25 million, which would not have gotten them a particularly great big man in the portal this past year for basketball.
It wouldn't have got them much of anything in this world.
It might have gotten them an Anthony Calandria.
It could have gotten them basically a full Anthony Calandria, yes.
But not a big man in basketball, probably not a multi-year. Now, Calandria could end up as a multi-year player, but not a multi-year star in football.
I think most notably, Schaefer, it wouldn't have gotten them a school sponsorship logo. I mean, this is pretty comprehensive. If the schools would have been able to sell this themselves, they would have made way more money off of it.
You'd think so. I certainly would think so.
I know so, right? That has to be the case.
I am interested, like, how big the logos are going to be on the field and everything. If it's just relatively small and innocuous, or if it's like decent size,
I hope
or
they're
whatever.
not super intrusive. But I'm on record as saying this, and I really believe it. Like, I don't really care about the logos in places.
It wasn't I care about that aspect. It's more like how that fits in with the only $20 million.
Exactly.
So if it's a really small logo on the court and on the field, and then it's on the jersey, $20 million doesn't seem as bad of a negotiation. If it's like a really big gaudy logo in all of these places,
I know.
Like, good on Monster. You
got a great deal.
Yeah. You're getting some incredible branding at a very low threshold in the sports world.
Couldn't they have sold this for like $100 million? And still, I don't know that the schools are getting enough bang for their. I mean,
if you would have just told me it's a jersey patch for $20 million, I'd have been like, okay, for football, like, whatever. But then when you see everything else involved with it, like I said, on the courts, on the field, and if it's prominent and it's only $1.25 million for each member institution, like, that's pretty low.
So the Monster deal will not preclude Big 12 members from selling their own commercial jersey patches. However, Monster does have exclusivity in the energy drink category, which it brings up another fascinating deal for the league, given that I believe that the note was yesterday, half the schools are Pepsi and half the schools are Coke. And I believe Monster has an affiliation with Pepsi.
Is it Pepsi?
Or Coke.
I think it's Coke.
Yeah, it's Coke because we have Monster in our fridge. Sorry, I was just trying to think about that. Yeah, Monster has an affiliation. I was thinking Gatorade, Powerade.
Sure.
With Coke. And half of the schools are Pepsi. And so will they have to, like, what kind of contract is that breaking with Pepsi? Is that the case? I don't know. And so when you do this league-wide, this is basically, for all intents and purposes, this is kind of the private equity thing that we had been talking about throughout, that everybody was really, really scared of. And that was the boogeyman sort of last summer as we went into this, and certainly is a different thing. But I always thought it would be a little bit more lucrative for the schools.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, this isn't quite how I would have thought of the private equity discussion that was happening with it, but it's an extension of just trying to find extra income wherever you certainly can. I'm trying to think offhand if Pepsi even has an affiliated energy drink, if that's like the sort of loophole that
I
works
think Red
here.
Bull's his own thing.
Yeah, Red Bull's not with either of those.
I'm not sure.
I don't do a lot of energy drinks, so I don't really I'm not as aware of what the brands are. Like, I don't think Celsius is affiliated with anything.
Here's an interesting note. No, I don't think so. I don't think there is an affiliated energy drink. Maybe we could look that up. But an interesting part of this dynamic between the Big 12 now and Monster Energy is, this is from the Sports Business Journal story. The agreement grew out of an existing relationship between Yormark and Monster Chief Partnerships Officer Mitch Covington, who worked together during Yormark's Rock Nation tenure. Monster became the conference's official energy drink in late 2025, and discussions expanded this year into a far broader commercial partnership. Maybe a little bit of a sweetheart of a deal there for Monster Chief Partnerships Officer Mitch Covington. Seriously, this is kind of wild. And we talk about it from, the perspective of, all right, you're selling these conference-wide deals. Okay, everybody's got to get on board, and all these schools have different rules, especially how these conferences are large and they're spanning into different areas in the country. And when you're talking about adding, ads to each of the schools, no matter what, it does tend to make things a little bit confusing. That's why I've always thought it's been better to, if you're going to sell partnerships or if you're going to sell, logo patches, a jersey, whatever it might be, that it be done on the individual school level. And very clearly it'd be a lot more lucrative for the schools if that was the case. So like, that's sort of the main point in this. If this is the direction of this, if this was what that type of deal is valued at for a conference-wide thing, I don't see any need for any other conference to do this. I really, really don't. Certainly not the Big Ten and the SEC.
Well, I can't even imagine.
I mean, for all that talk about private equity and all this stuff like there's just no need to do that. No need to do that. If they're taking $20 million across the entire league per year for Monster, it's a drop in the bucket for these schools. It doesn't help them at all.
I cannot imagine the stodgy nature of some level of the Big Ten just being so offended by this happening in the first place.
Sure.
Putting a Monster Energy logo on a Northwestern jersey. How could you besmirch such
sacrilege? I mean, that would be the initial reaction. Once we get over that part, it's just like, dude, I mean, come on. What are we actually getting at?
I mean, going back to your point here, if you're only doing it for $1.25 million per institution, which would be even less in the Big Ten, though they'd probably negotiate it differently.
I would hope so.
You would hope.
I would hope that they would make more money off of it because they're bigger brands.
J. Skirt Nathan says that Pepsi has Alani, Rockstar, and Celsius in its portfolio of energy drinks.
Oh, wow. Rockstar energy drinks would not like it if...
I was thinking Rockstar and Monster seem like they're the competitors in that space. So.
I would think so. Interesting. Debo says replace all the Gatorades like on the sideline with Monster. He just got the Monster Bath. Brought to you by Monster Energy Drink. Was it the green one? Was it the white one? I have no idea. If it was Matt McMaster, it was the white one.
That for some reason that seems like something would happen to your skin if you were just bathed in energy drink.
It cannot be healthy to get it. Yeah, to get it.
Seems bad. Seems bad.
Let's see. Gus Mohawk says 20 million seems pretty low. What's next for Loco on SEC jerseys? You never know. You never know. All right. So that's one of the things that is going on in the Big 12. The other thing that is going on in the Big 12, we will talk about a little bit later on in the show. I'm sure you saw the video of the guy mispronouncing tortillas over and over again.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're going to like this.
How do you mispronounce tortilla?
Well, he had this. He was trying to. He's a Texas Tech media member, and he was trying to ask Brett Yormark, a.k.a. Big Idea Commissioner, man, a very a gotcha type of question. And he had this whole thing planned out, and he like fumbled on the first 7 words.
Oh, no.
So you're going to hear that a little bit later on in the show. Also, did you see the Colorado one that was going around yesterday?
The only Colorado stuff I saw was Dion saying that college football 27 didn't pay enough for him to be included in the game.
Fascinating, because the Colorado thing that I saw yesterday was their quarterback saying that they didn't look at defenses last year and they were just playing schoolyard football.
Well, they went 3-9.
I like the Big 12. The Big 12 is a fun conference to watch from afar anyway. All right, 402-951-1620. I want to hear from you guys. That's, of course, on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Thank you, Nick, for sending me a video of the play that I've already watched 400 times last night of the Royals throwing it around the infield. We'll cover the Royals, of course, in This Week in Baseball.
Showing the highlights already for you, Connor, just in case you miss any of the action.
Hey, thank you for showing the Tyler Tolbert history instead of the stupid 3-error play. Nice job by you, ESPN. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll flip to a new page in the Phil Steele magazine. Our summer preview rolls on, featuring My Tiny Balls, right after this on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
I'm Omaha Athletic Director Adrian Dow, and I want to introduce you to 3 Omaha schools that are playing a vital role in keeping our community strong. We serve nearly 600 pre-K through 8th grade students, most of whom come from disadvantaged neighborhoods. These students receive a values-based education with the family support they need. I'm a proud member of the CUES Fund Board, which supports the CUES school system. To learn more, go to CUES Schools, that's CUES schools.org.
Gingrich Structures builds agricultural, commercial, and residential post-frame buildings designed to meet your needs. All built with superior craftsmanship and attention to every detail. From planning to completion, your local Gingrich Pro will guide you every step of the way, helping you create a custom post-frame building you can count on for years to come. Visit GingrichStructures.com to connect with your local Gingrich Pro and ask about the industry's only 5-year workmanship warranty. That's GingerICHStructures.com.
Are you looking for a new career with great benefits? Join Dollar General at the largest distribution center in Blair, Nebraska. Earn up to $23.40 per hour, plus medical, dental, vision, 401k, and attendance and performance incentives. At this state-of-the-art distribution center, you'll be sure to find growth in your career with advancement opportunities, including tuition reimbursement. Apply today at dollargeneral.com/careers. Join DG in their mission of serving others.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Millions of people move every year for all kinds of reasons. When that time comes, it helps to go with a company you can trust. Penske Truck Rental. Their trucks are clean, newer, well-maintained, and you get free unlimited miles on one-way rentals. And there's no fee if you want to change your reservation. They've got over 2,000 locations and live support around the clock. Penske helps you gain ground like no other company can. Go to PenskeTruckRental.com or download the Penske Truck Rental app.
Sweet!
What is?
The new Nebraska Lottery Pick 5 Winning Drive promotion.
What can we win?
Sweet!
You already said that. What's the prize?
Actually, Nebraska football sweet season tickets. Until August 4th, we just enter a $5 Nebraska Pick 5 voucher number online, and we can win all kinds of great ticket prizes.
That sounds sweet.
You got that right.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 Deadliest Days. It accounts for nearly 1/3 of Nebraska's traffic deaths. Sadly, 58 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Train to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
1620 The Zone at 1620thezone.com.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up. You have trouble sleeping. Maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org. for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
All right, as we told you about on Monday, there is a awesome new contest here at 1620 The Zone that is really beginning today. It is the Road to Wrigley. 1620 The Zone's teaming up with Union Bank and Trust to send one lucky Nebraska fan and a guest to Chicago to see Nebraska volleyball play Missouri at Wrigley Field. Listen to the Road to Wrigley sounder. Joey, give him an example.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
There you go. Head to 1620thezone.com and enter for your chance to win. And we'll be giving you multiple chances to enter every day, all month long. So whenever you hear that, not now included, right, Joey? Or does it actually matter?
It actually, I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn this stuff.
I'm asking questions that I want the answers to at this point.
Just-
But
yeah,
when
just-
you hear
just-
that,
it-
go to 1620thezone.com and enter for your chance to win. You'll get 2 tickets to the game at Wrigley between Nebraska and Missouri, Sunday, September 6th. Round trip airfare, Omaha to Chicago, 2-night hotel stay in downtown Chicago, and an extra $150 to spend on top of that on whatever you would like. The Road to Wrigley, presented by Union Bank and Trust at UBT. People don't have your own money. Your money has people. Member FDIC. Be on the lookout for Harry Carey, who was mentioned yesterday in our Will Ferrell segment. All right, let's get the tiny balls out.
All right, I got to get my calculator out too.
Yes, get the calculators out.
And I already got a bookkeeping document on teams we already covered. So
Joey is on top of everything, which is absolutely
and pages
fantastic.
we already used.
So I have a little tiny bingo ball catcher here that goes 1 through 49. Schaefer has a book that goes basically about page 50 to 350 is what we decided yesterday.
Yeah, more or less.
Something like that. And we will unload this thing and see what we get. Woo! Let's see what has landed in the hole.
That genuinely sounded really good.
You're going to want to turn your mic on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That sounded really good.
There you go, Mike.
Well, it's good because we have better audio quality in here. How many balls do you want to know the numbers of? 3, 4, or 5? 4 balls. 25 plus 48 plus 13 plus 32.
Turn to page 118.
118.
118 will be. Looks like we're inside the Big Ten.
Ooh,
is it Nebraska?
It is NU, which is Northwestern.
Hooray!
Northwestern?
Northwestern.
Oh, no.
Matt McMaster, you better be listening.
Disaster.
I have to figure out how to read this, how to sit in here now. Okay. For some reason, we're going all the way back to 2022 with Northwestern here for Phil Steele.
We could skip by the Phil Steele forecast, I think. As we learned yesterday, the forecast is a little in-depth.
Okay, so let's see if we can find something that makes sense here to start with. The Cats were 4-5 before losing to 3 of the Big Ten's best teams. No, we're in 2023. What are we doing, Phil
I'd
Steele?
like to go to 2026. I'd like to know about their 2026 team. Does it say anything about that?
Here's the important things to know about their 2026 team. Their offensive coordinator now is Chip Kelly.
That is true.
Their quarterbacks coach is
Tiny Baby
Jerry
Neuheisel.
Neuheisel.
Tiny Baby Neuheisel, yeah.
Famously helped get James Franklin fired. Their quarterback is going to be Aiden Childs. And
that is not a bad picture.
Yeah, no, they're a really interesting team.
And you're a David Braun hunk.
I like David Braun. I think he's done a really good job in a super thankless situation. They start off with South Dakota State on September 5th, and they have a very early bye week, and then they just play the rest of their season. So they get a game against Colorado, and they're at Indiana. They have Penn State for their homecoming at home. You have Ball State at home, then you're
I
at
have Ball
Michigan
State as their homecoming.
Well, I don't know. Phil says it's Penn State on a Friday night, so I'm guessing he's wrong on that one.
I think it is. I think it is on a Friday night to debut their new stadium.
Okay.
That is the first game at the new stadium.
Yeah. So it was moved to a Friday night on Fox for that particular reason.
But I don't know if that's the homecoming game. According to the internet, the homecoming game
I
is
would
Ball
go with
State.
the internet.
And I don't care when the homecoming game is, for the record. It doesn't actually matter at all.
They get Rutgers on October 24th, and they're at Oregon. Then they have Iowa, at Ohio State, at Minnesota, and they finish with Illinois. So they've got a tough schedule.
This,
they
my
get
friends,
all three.
is a difficult schedule.
They get all three of Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State.
And Penn State to go on top of that.
Nebraska. However, the difference here is they have Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State all on the road.
Oh.
And they have the Penn State game too. Like Penn State's not going to be just a walkover.
Right. No, this is a tough schedule.
Yeah, this is a very hard schedule.
They have 5 road games.
They also go to Minnesota.
3 of them are top 10 teams. Then you have Minnesota and you have Michigan State.
Their road games are pretty wild. With everything outside of, they go, like I said, like Schaefer said, at Indiana, at Michigan State, at Oregon, at Ohio State, and at Minnesota. Those are their road games. Their home games to open up their new stadium. Now, they do have 2 games still at the lacrosse field to start the season. That's against South Dakota State.
Beautiful stadium.
South Dakota State is no walkover. That's like one of the best teams in the FCS. They play them to start the season at the lacrosse field. That is going to be a game. That's a real life football game on the first Saturday of the season. Then they have a bye week, and then they play Colorado. They'll probably beat Colorado with more ease than they beat South Dakota State with. Would be
It's possible.
They could lose to
definitely
both.
possible.
They could lose to both. And then they open up their new real football stadium with the Friday night game against Penn State, and then Ball State also in the non-con. That's a very difficult schedule. Of course, they finish off with Illinois. People are down on Illinois this year. They have a home game with Iowa as well. They have a home game with Rutgers. So the home schedule leaves a little something to be desired, I think, after Penn State. But that's where you're going to need to rack up your wins if you're Northwestern.
So they have to basically take advantage of the October 10th through October 24th, which is Ball State, Michigan State, and Rutgers. Only one of those feels like a higher than 50% chance that they could win.
Yeah.
Michigan State and Rutgers definitely feels like a coin flip. At Michigan State, with everything that's surrounding playing Pat Fitzgerald's team, on the road for the first time there, will make that interesting. Phil Steele has them tied for 12th in the Big Ten Conference, along with Wisconsin and UCLA. My guess is that's a 2-conference win team. It's going to be hard for them to find conference wins. This is a brutal schedule.
I think they're probably going into not them, but I think you're probably going into the season thinking about Northwestern like, all right, if they can, they're one of those if they can get to a bowl game teams, right?
Yeah. Which
if
it
they
was,
could just get to a bowl game.
A heck of an effort from them last year to get to a bowl game because when they came into Lincoln, I wasn't particularly impressed with either team playing on the field that day.
Yeah.
And they were able to get to 6-6. They should have beaten Michigan last year. They had them, dead in the water and couldn't finish that out. I can't get over this schedule. Your road games are 3 games against top 10 teams. Your former coach at Michigan State, and then Minnesota, who's always difficult. Your home games, it doesn't get better. It's Penn State and Iowa and Illinois.
Yep.
They effectively
with Rutgers
play,
mixed in there.
They only miss USC and Michigan for the top 7 teams in the conference.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's brutal.
Yeah. I guess Penn State is sort of a wonder this year, but I'm not just expecting them to be, a walkover like they were for the majority of last year. Their win total is 5.5.
Looking at this, I would take the under.
Yeah.
But who knows? Chip Kelly, Aiden Childs, maybe they can make some magic that way. It's possible. I cannot get over the forecast. Never has anything about the upcoming season and goes all the way back to 2020.
It's just grabbing information from all of the past seasons, which is, pretty good. Do they have the Komalafe guy back? Is he I guess he would still be, unless he transferred somewhere.
Yeah, he's a running back. He returns.
He was pretty solid.
Griffin Wild returns. He was a really good wide receiver from South Dakota State.
That's right.
That, there was some light rumblings that Nebraska could be involved and interested.
So think about it. Think about it from the perspective of just that. Take the schedule out. Take the whatever out. They have a quarterback who I think obviously got off to a tough start in his time at Michigan State in his previous program, but I really kind of think highly of him as a player. I don't know.
I was intrigued by him. Like when there was discussion of him potentially being the guy at Nebraska, I was more okay with it than some people.
I think there's real bounce back opportunity for a guy like Aiden Childs. You mix in the new offensive coordinator, you mix in the new quarterback coach, who are both very well thought of in sort of the industry. Komolafe is back, Wilde is back, and that's your top running back, that's your top wide receiver, both coming back into the fold. You know that they're going to be fine, at least on defense. Right, that's not a bad football team on paper. Their schedule is just a monster.
Yeah, it's a brutal.
So
schedule.
I think that's sort of the headline here.
It's like really hard to find 4 conference wins in there.
Yeah,
without them overachieving, and that's how Northwestern does it. I mean, they rarely do you ever go into a year where you're like, okay, this is definitely a 8-win team or something.
D'Lo writes in, tired Nebraska scheduled talk, wired Northwestern scheduled talk. That's right. Get ready for it. Also, Headley writes in, what's funny is Connor and Mike just switched chairs and completely changed the backdrop. That would be funny if it were true, which it is not. We have a brand new studio. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, we can sneak it in.
For
no Phil's forecast ever again.
We also got this text, which I think is pretty good. On Wednesday, you should times the total by 3, Thursday by 4, Friday by 5, so you could get higher pages.
Okay.
But then how many balls are we taking?
We could always take 3, and then when you're doing the multiplication, that should keep you in the range.
All right, so Wednesday times 3 balls.
Okay.
Here we go. The first 3 balls say 32, 39, and 20.
Okay, so that's 91.
Times 3?
Would be 273.
Oh, so we're adding then multiplying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to put everything
273.
in parentheses.
273. Good job, Schaefer. Excellent.
I was on it.
Excellent.
I know my math sometimes. 273, the Nevada Wolfpack.
Oh,
so we were going to
Purdy.
The Mountain West. It'll be the second year for Jeff Choate. They went 3-9 a year ago. This is a program that I don't think is expected to be particularly good.
No.
They are projected to finish. Oh,
I think we need a lesson from
7th in the Mountain West.
We need a lesson from Phil Steele himself on how to read his book.
There's no simple way to do it.
That's what it feels like we need.
Everything starts like 2 years ago in every subcategory.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that's particularly germane. It appears that they are returning a few of their leading players, but they're going to have a new quarterback in Luke Duncan Jr. And we'll see what happens with Nevada.
Schedule-wise, they play Montana State in week 2, which is, a difficult FCS team. And they also go to North Dakota State and Northern Illinois throughout the season as well. Why? Because they're in the Mountain West, which is a conference that has those schools, which is pretty hilarious. All right, there's your Nevada and Northwestern football previews. I know you all were looking forward to them today. That's the kind of stuff that we give you here on Happer and Schaefer. We'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with more right after this on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, no accidents to report at this time. Reported lane closure on Cass Street between Capitol and Abbott. On I-80 westbound from I-480 to I-680, you're seeing a commute of 6 minutes. Then on Dodge eastbound from I-680 to I-480, you're seeing a commute of 10 minutes. Try to enjoy that sunrise before it gets too hot. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Broncos.
French fries, still hand-cut. Hamburger, still fresh, never frozen. The same as in 1959. Because fresh food and quality ingredients, they don't go out of style. Broncos, where quality always rides.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for the 8-time league champion Omaha Storm Chasers, a proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals since 1969. Tune in for every pitch of the 2026 Storm Chasers season at Warner Park and across the International League with the voice of the Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Tonight, the Omaha Storm Chasers are in Louisville to take on the Bats with first pitch scheduled for 5:35. And you can hear to all of the action on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Prairie Flower Casino gives you more. More ways to play with 600 slot machines, sportsbook, and live table games, plus market-exclusive bonus spin extreme progressive and battle 1, 2, 3. And there's more to enjoy every evening at Sky Bar and Grill with great food, cold drinks, wall-to-wall sports, and the friendly service you love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable pizza sauce and unique combinations of bold flavors. Try customer favorites like the Crab Ragoon Pizza, Mountain Man, or the Upset Grizzly Bear. There are daily specials and menu items like tacos, salads, wings, and burgers. Stop in and check out Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill at 178th and Harrison and at timbercreekpizzaomaha.com. Are you one of the 7% of adults in the United States who are searching for an alternative to sleeping in a bed? Then let me introduce you to Z-Cliner, the revolutionary recliner designed by FlexSteel. The Z-Cliner, meticulously engineered with restful sleep in mind, making it an ideal bed alternative. A healthy life starts with a healthy night's sleep. Z-Cliner is more than just a recliner. It's a personalized comfort experience. It features multiple power adjustments like recline, headrest, lumbar, zero gravity, reducing pressure on your body, tech integrations like charging ports for easy modern living. We know life can be messy, stressful. That's why Z-Cliner is upholstered in a moisture and stain-resistant fabric, perfect for all-day enjoyment, even homes with pets and kids. Z-Cliner, a complete sleep solution. Get started. Unmatched comfort. Zcliner.com/Dan Patrick today to find a Z-Cliner at a store near you.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan. Congratulations. You're approved. Or friends who love to shop local. Have a good one. At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward. Hey, thanks for helping. That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. This is Happer and Schaefer on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer rolls on from our brand new studio. We're in the same building. We're about, 15 feet away, from where we were before.
I could see the window from our old studio.
That is true, actually. And you could see how the lights are off in there, and it's dark. The lights are out in the old version of 1620.
Someone just could open if you could open the window, someone just could open that and just wave at us.
That's true. We could do that, or we could treat this like an old stadium, and we could detonate it. We could blow it up, something like that. If you walk in there right now, which I just did to grab our crown. Oh, sorry, wrong arm. Our crown thing. I would be a bad weatherman. Our crown credential that has been hanging up in the background. It looks like it has been exploded. It looks like there has been a bomb that has gone off in the room next door.
We need to go in there and check it out.
It's kind of eerie.
Okay.
Everything is unplugged. It's just kind of silent. There's no loud refrigerator running. The signs of life are gone.
Well, that was the refrigerator was gone a couple weeks ago.
That's true.
But we got a new soundboard, got new keyboards. It's not worn down.
You don't realize what silence is until you hear silence. You realize how many things that are just constantly going on at once when you're in a room that's active, like this. And then you go into one that's just been unplugged completely and it's like, oh, this is quiet. I didn't realize it could be this quiet.
No, I can get it that quiet.
But here,
different set of circumstances.
We
got a TV in here. We're still waiting on that breakfast station and potentially bedroom sink for Josh Peterson.
Oh yeah, what's this about?
So yesterday in the crossover, they were talking about things to add into the new studio. So Matt suggested adding a breakfast bar or something like that, so you could whip up eggs or pancakes over in that little studio that's behind me, that little producer studio.
I am very curious. Joe, you could see it if you're watching along with us on YouTube over Joey's right shoulder there. I am very curious to see what we're going to. There he goes. Wave to us in the window.
See, I still think it would have been great if Joey had worked back there.
I agree. I've thought that as well. The producers, I think that got shut down because the producers didn't want it. Is this true, Joey? Why?
I didn't say anything. I'm sure the other people did. I know for Matt's sake, it's his show and Josh Hodson. So having Josh Hodson there just kind of collab on things.
Yeah, I mean, but still there. Yeah, it's still the case.
Oh,
the microphone still works.
It does. I like being closer to my friends.
Oh, so you do like it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I do like being closer to my friends.
So
it does have a real you're in the penalty box feel to it if you're in there looking out.
Well, if I screw something up, I'll just sit in there for 2 minutes and then I'll get back out.
That is a great first use of that random studio. Now, do we have it? Is that thing patched into our board so you could talk from over there?
I don't think so. I would not think.
I think it's basically a production studio.
Yeah, production studio you could use to edit things. If you got sounders, you could edit and throw it onto our wall. That's kind of the purpose. Or if we need to record something immediately.
That's not a bad use, but I'm thinking of a more funny use.
No one would be able to record anything while the shows are going on, though, right?
No, you can. There's a door.
Okay. Well, it's not like it's super soundproof. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
There's lots of doors in here that you can hear everything.
There's equipment in there that make it soundproof, so it should be doable.
Okay.
And there's an editing tool on Audition where you could remove background sound. Just record it for 10 seconds with just of natural sound, and then delete it.
So we're talking about though if we can hear them. So next person who gets here, Matt gets here or whatever, and we're gonna have him come in and we're gonna have him go yell in that studio.
That's a good idea.
Just to see if we can hold somebody hostage back there.
I like it. I like to
there's a prisoner in our room.
1620
You're
to
looking
prison.
over Joey's right shoulder, and there's somebody who's throwing up signs against the wall. It's please let me out.
I now like this idea of we would put Matt in there and he would give a take every day as loud as he can, and we see if the listeners can hear the background take that's going on from Matt McMaster.
Interesting idea. Would we be able to keep focus in here? Probably
I would not be able
Matt will more likely heckle me and Schaefer over the NFC North stuff.
That is true.
Regardless of whether it's that or not, it goes back to whenever Matt does radio, it's hard for me to keep focus because he'll say something that I immediately have to react to.
Yeah.
And want to, like a puppy, just bop him on the nose with a rolled up newspaper because of something that he said.
Let's go back. Let's address that real quick. Yeah, that always does seem to happen with him.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any thoughts on what to do with our extra space and our extra room back there,
please. Suggestion to make it a ball pit.
Well, the suggestion box is open, and I don't mind that. That's might be the best idea that we have so far, besides the breakfast bar and the nook in the nap room. Maybe this is Joey's nap room. Who knows?
Well, it can't be because the light switch is for all the lights in here, including there. So you can't. So we would have to. I would
could
have
have
to
been a
turn off the
nice
lights.
sleeping pod for sure.
It definitely would be.
Another person commenting on the stairs in the background from the 515. This is fantastic. We can monitor the emergency exit over Hap's right shoulder. So yeah, if you could always, you will always be able to tell if there's some sort of fire going on here at Usher Media Omaha because the fire exit is right here.
Well, every once in a while
That's how you'll be.
Every
able
once
to
in a
know.
while we'll see a fire truck or a police car speeding through, so you'll be able to see it.
That's true.
We'll hear it, but now you'll be able to hear it and see it.
And as Schaefer, as you've known for a very, very long time now, this about me, going back to my days in Lincoln, I requested windows. I love natural light. Natural light gives everything a little bit more life when you're trying to be awake. If you're not trying to be awake, then, get the blackout curtains out and shut her down, right? You don't need windows at all. Go ahead. That's fine. I love natural light. Me and Bill Moose are handshake beaming on that. He talked about that when building a weight room a long, long time ago, and probably talked about it a lot in the Crab Creek Chronicles as well. And what we have now is maximum natural light in this room, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, honestly, we've talked about the idea of the backdrop and everything, and I'm sure that's what we'll ultimately do, but I don't hate the wide open window of it.
I love
like
it.
Early on, first show, I'm
And
okay with it.
And the glare is going away because the sun is changing positions, which is what I'm.
You'll still kind of see me behind Schaefer.
We'll get there. So 402-951-1620. That is the way to get in touch with the show this morning, regardless of if we are in a new studio or an old one. That is still the number on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Yeah, Mike wonders if we're going to have a backdrop or shutting the window blinds. We don't know. One day there will just be a new thing behind us and it'll just happen.
They don't tell us.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Although we did get an email at 3:00 in the morning last night, which was appreciated because it had important information inside of it. All right. We talked about this briefly yesterday, Schaefer, or we touched on it. I guess we just didn't take it far enough. So we're going to take it far today. When we were talking about recruiting, where we ended up on the conversation, and this is not a recruiting topic, by the way, where we ended up on the conversation was where it usually ends up with Nebraska football, or if we're talking about
They
coaches,
need to win games.
which is, man, if they could just find a way to win games, if they could just find a way to win in the field on Saturdays. I saw this take out there yesterday. So shout out to Husker X's and O's for sending this take out there yesterday. He said this: Rule, Matt Rule, has one of the highest ceilings of any coach Nebraska has had since Tom Osborne. He has the recruiting chops of Bill Callahan in what appears to be the culture that made Bo's guys loyal. Needs to be better on Saturdays to make sure we realize that potential. What do you think about the idea of Matt Rule having the highest ceiling of any coach that has been at Nebraska since Tom Osborne? Because I'm not sure I particularly agree, but I don't know. I don't know that it's bad. That I have to give it some thought, and that's what we're doing right now.
Well, I mean, part of it is that we have the ability to look back at the coaches that have been here, and it's not like saying that it's so absurd, because who are we talking about? We're talking about Scott Frost, who has every possibility of going down as the worst coach in modern Nebraska football history.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mike Riley, who's only here for 3 years and it went poorly, but not as poorly as it would go with who followed him.
Yeah.
You have Bo Pelini, who won quite a few games, and he's your biggest competition in this regard.
I think in order to do this, you have to really kind of break it down. You sort of have to take the records out of it a little bit. Now, you can't ignore it completely because that's, ultimately how it goes. But you have to break it down to each individual arm of what makes a coach good.
Sure.
And so maybe we could do that here. I mean, maybe we could sort of get to an answer to that question. So there's a recruiting arm. There is a like a motivational arm or something like these are basically the archetypes of coaches on the new college football video game, right? Like there is the tactical arm, right?
I would love to go through and assign which coach of Nebraska falls in which of these archetypes.
There's that spider web, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of trying to.
Bill Callahan's a strategist.
Yeah.
Bo Pelini is definitely tactician.
And then if you advance far enough,
Mike Riley, motivator.
You can unlock the CEO, which is basically you're really good at everything.
Tom Osborne,
right? Yeah, that's kind of the idea. So there's all these arms that make a coach good, and if you could put enough of them together, chances are you're probably going to win enough games. And so that's kind of how you have to break it down and disregard the records, at least to a certain extent.
So again, on its face, I don't think it's that absurd. I think the biggest competitions are going to be amongst Frank Solich, Bo Pelini, and Matt Rule. Solich and Pelini have won more than Matt Rule has shown that he can do here at Nebraska.
We're talking about highest ceiling.
Now, this comes back to me. Now, the problem with both of Pelini and Solich is that they weren't good recruiters. Like, they just weren't. Bo didn't put the energy into it.
So I believe
was necessary.
I believe it is that arm of the coach spider web, sort of, that we were just talking about. It's the recruiting arm that is most responsible for how high your overall ceiling goes.
Yeah, because you've got to be able to get the top quality of player.
And so we talked about it yesterday. We talked about this idea that, I think this staff, while they just seem like they're they have this ability or want to actually put pressure on recruits and get them in the class and get them to commit. Now, the results of the recruiting so far haven't blown you out of the water.
Right.
In fact, they've actually been quite, they would skew poor at this point as far as the recruiting results are concerned, because you haven't signed the 27
the end
class.
product of it. But it's also really hard because you're only in your fourth season if you get rid of the first class, which is always bad for everybody, the transition year, you're really only into your third season now with these guys being on campus. Where it gets really interesting is you're comparing across eras where the portal is now a thing in a way that it wouldn't have been for Pelini and for Solich. And there is definitely a world where Nebraska in 2008 to 2014 would have been one hell of a portal team under Bo Pelini. Like I think because he didn't care about the high school aspect of it. Let me rephrase that. He definitely cared. Because he didn't have as much interest.
He didn't want to.
He wanted to talk football with guys. Yep. And the recruiting of a transfer portal is so different than the high school. Like I actually think it would have benefited him a lot. He would have been talking with more people, like men, than with, adult boys, I guess, if you would. It's a very different.
He definitely did not want to play the recruiting game.
You would have gotten.
And there is a game that you have to play that absolutely Matt Rule is playing and doesn't have any shame in playing. Right. And Bill Callahan, I don't know if he liked it, but was good at it.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
His vision on stuff far superseded anybody Nebraska's had.
Yeah.
Up until probably now Rule. Like, that's the point of this tweet, is that you're getting a guy like that had the sort of vision that Callahan did of what you have to do to bring players in and the type of players you have to get. The problem, and this has always been where I have just been the most confused by Matt Rule, I thought he would be a much better game day coach than he has been. But there are areas where they are a lot better. They're more disciplined. They don't have the penalties. They don't have all of that stuff. But it doesn't feel like he has a great feel of what type of team he has when he goes into battle.
Yep.
There's the constant, and you can point to many different games with this, inability to adjust as things are happening throughout a game. That makes you feel like you're at a somewhat of a disadvantage on Saturdays, to where you have to be able to over-recruit your own coaching disadvantage.
In a lot of ways, Schaefer, as you sort of break it down in those big picture kind of more simple terms, in a lot of ways, this has gone almost exactly the opposite of what I thought Rule was going to be when he got here.
There's not as much development.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're winning in the margins on Saturdays.
And they have a much higher recruiting ceiling than I ever thought that they would have. I thought that they would be, I thought that they would be like Bo in the recruiting part.
Well, the way that it started was with so many of the, and I always use him as an example, and I don't know what his career is ultimately going to end up. He's now in his third year with a Power 5 or Power 4 football team. But like Braylon Prude was a guy that no one else in the country was recruiting because he wasn't playing that much for his high school team. And he's a full scholarship defensive back, linebacker type for Nebraska because they love his measurables. Because that's, Rule wasn't necessarily in love with stars. It was certain testing numbers and measurables. And so they made all of these offers. A lot of those haven't panned out. And so we're still very much in a wait and see mode as to whether the style of which he won with at Baylor can translate to Nebraska, can translate to the Big Ten. And he's now moved off of a lot of that.
It's not that at all.
It's very much, okay, we've got to get a higher caliber level of player. We have to, be able to do this. We have to be able to win in the portal, not necessarily with superstars out of the portal, but we have to fill with highly competent players to make up for where we haven't hit here otherwise.
In essence, what you're doing, and we had all these conversations, whether it was during the summer or during the season, even, the broadcasts would start and they would say, well, it's year 2 under Matt Rule. And you know what that means? They're going to get X amount of games better and all these different things. And you look at his history at Temple and you look at his history at Baylor, and it went the same way both times. It just got incrementally better. They made a big jump in the second year. They made a huge jump in the third year, and they were in contention for a conference championship because he developed those programs blueprint. He took the blueprint, college football video game. He took the blueprint from the first job and took it immediately to the second job.
Yep.
And did the same thing. You have to throw all of that away. It's gone. It's not the same. Year 1 here, plus all of the rest of his time as a Division I head coach in college football, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't include any of the NFL stuff anyway, so that's already gone. So basically what we're dealing with is entirely new Matt Rule, starting with year 2.
Which, if you're optimistic, they are better. I think. I don't even know that it's arguable, but they're better as a program now than they were in 2023. And so if you're optimistic, he has improved that. And this is where the whole, I think Nebraska's floor is relatively high because of where he has improved things and how he has improved things.
Yeah.
The question is, why hasn't the ceiling also risen? And so that's sort of where we find ourselves in 2026. So in order for this, the idea of this to be the best coach since Tom Osborne because of all of these different things, they have to start stacking wins and doing it for a long time.
And I just haven't, we don't have enough to go off of.
Right.
At the very least, we don't have enough to go off of. At the most, you could use what he's done in games so far and say that ain't it.
Right.
Which, if you told that to me, I would say, you know what? I can't argue with
And this
you.
comes back to the idea of okay, again, if you have a coach like this, I can at least appreciate he's moving on from coaches. He's trying different things. He's looking to find the answer. It's not just ramming his head against the wall and saying, we run a 2-gap system with 2 high safety look, and we're never bringing anybody down. We're never going to do anything different. And it doesn't matter what the other team does.
And there's value to that. There's value to that from
if it works. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly if it works. But I do wish that, while he's willing to try different things, I wish that he would have found an answer on where.
Well, no, that's the thing. Cycling is great. Eventually, you have to land on something.
Exactly.
It's like sitting with someone who just flips through the channels endlessly. I cannot handle that. Eventually, I need them to pick something.
Or a song when you're on a road trip or something like that.
People that are
so I do this. I'm very bad. And I hate myself while I'm doing it, but I got to find the right song,
But the people that do it, they let 12 seconds play and then they're done. They're on to the next thing. And it's how do you know what you want in 12 seconds?
It's terrible. I hate it. I hate myself for it.
Because you're definitely a channel flipper.
They're terrible.
I am a channel flipper, which is one of the reasons that I had a distaste for streaming.
For you,
yeah. It's a tough adjustment for me as an old man.
Whereas I'm such a person where it's it's on the same channel and I don't even notice when we've flipped over to local news after the end of the Sunday night football game. And it's oh, hey, cool. I'm getting my news from Grand Island when I lived in Lincoln.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
A text from...
I would learn about Grand Island that way.
A text from John. If Matt Rule has the highest ceiling of any coach since Osborne, that tells you how many crap coaches Nebraska has hired. And Rule will never win 9 games. which
conversation.
Pelini did every year. Rule doesn't need propped up for another 4 years. He can't be fired. So for the record, I don't know that Rule does. I think it's Callahan probably who has the highest ceiling. And we just never really saw it for a variety of different reasons get there. Not that I needed him to have more time at the time, but it just,
I would have been okay had he gotten more time. I think the reason that I'd struggle with saying it'd be Callahan is I think for this to be true, there also has to be buy-in from the fan base, and he had the least of any coach.
Yep.
Maybe Mike, that's probably a good question. Who had less buy-in from the fan base, Mike Riley or Bill Callahan?
Riley after the BYU Hail Mary. Right. Riley before the BYU Hail Mary was one thing. Riley after the BYU Hail Mary was a different one. It ended right there when that guy caught that ball.
Bad.
What was that guy's name? Matthews? Jake Matthews, I think his name was.
Okay. That sounds right. I know his Luke Gifford was who he landed on the bottom of that pile.
Wasn't that a McDonough special?
It was Sean
right.
McDonough.
Heaves it to the end zone. Hi there.
The thing I remember the most from that game is Mikhail Wilbon ran for a yard, and it made him the single greatest running back in message board history.
I loved that.
No one was more impressed by a 1-yard run than the Nebraska fan base that was on the message board.
They did love them some Mikhail Wilbon.
Mitch Matthews is the guy who got the Hail Mary.
Mitch. I said Jake. Who's Jake Matthews?
I think a
Probably a guy
relative
that
of Clay
played for
Matthews.
BYU at some point in time.
Jake Matthews definitely a person, but I don't know if
Probably some relation to Clay Matthews.
Probably some relation to Clay Matthews. There you go.
Definitely not Mitch.
Yeah, different deal as far as the tenor is concerned before and after the BYU Hail Mary for Riley. And then you have Bo, who does Bo have did Bo have a higher floor than Rule does right now? Because he could, like it or not, that dude know how to.
His floor was basically 4 losses, right? Like that's.
But once again, taking outside the wins and losses,
yeah,
you knew that for the most part, like there was never a question of like, can they manage their way through a game, or are they quitting, or whatever. Like they were going to get him ready to go.
Sure,
whatever team he had, they were going to get him ready to go. And that resulted in what it resulted in. So I think you could, and they recruited fine. It wasn't great. It was good, but it wasn't bad, So it's probably highest floor Bo, highest ceiling Bill.
It's fascinating because my thing with Bo Pelini is if he had been given more time at Nebraska, I think the cracks that were in the foundation
they may have
would
shown.
have started to become more evident, and you would have seen the lack of being able to recruit. You would have seen the fact that certain coaches and programs just had a blueprint to beat Nebraska every year.
Yep.
Like there was just certain things that you could just count on and bank on. I think the volatility is really hard to sustain in that, in that profession.
They ran a little hot. Yeah.
And I think it's evident by the fact that he left Nebraska with all of those wins, went to Youngstown State, burns out immediately as a defensive coordinator again at LSU, and then has never coached at this level.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that old when he was let go.
No.
So it's to me, it's an indication that there was a high burnout no matter what.
Absolutely.
Like there was never going to be a gold watch thank you retirement ceremony that was coming along with Bo Pelini wherever he was going to be.
Yeah.
It was always going to be a burnout.
Look at this. The fans are coming
People
from far and
waving?
wide.
I can't see.
They're waving at us. They're saying, look at your beautiful new studio.
Wow.
Look at that.
We got to get some signage.
Soon enough, they'll be climbing up the stairs.
Don't do that.
Joey says, don't do that. Please.
Not a good idea.
All right. So where do we settle on this? Because I think it's a great, sort of idea.
I'm intrigued by the concept of it. There has to be so much more execution for it to even really be.
Ultimately, Rule's
born
biggest,
into.
I don't know, it's not a failure yet, but his biggest hole, I guess, in his game right now is the the stuff. I mean, creating a like an offensive and defensive plan, right? Which is a big deal. And then how that stuff is actually executed in the games. The game management stuff is pretty
for me, a lot of it is just the biggest hole in it is on Saturdays. I don't think that he has a great feel for what type of team he has, that he can just go in and
and part of that is laying the base to start like, okay, what are we? You know,
and I don't know that they know yet.
Yeah.
Which is concerning in your fourth year.
And
that
when
you haven't built to like a direct thing.
And when that doesn't happen, eventually, especially if you don't win enough games, the recruiting starts to slip as well. And so they all have to be at this certain level in order to make it really work.
Is his biggest strength his ability to get people to buy in, whether it's recruits to buy into what the program could be, the fan base to buy into how he wants things to be. Like like when people refer to him as a used car salesman, it's meant in a derogatory way. But one of the things that I think he's very good at is getting you to believe in what Nebraska could be with his involvement.
I think so. Because ultimately with that, you become a really good, first of all, face and voice for the program. And which he is. And a fundraiser, right? Like he's very willing to do all that stuff. Like he's, there's a lot of stuff that works for 2026, or beyond.
Yeah, and that's why I think there's the enthusiasm that if it can work better on the football field, like you have this guy who's this sort of amalgamation of what you want a Nebraska football coach to be. But you kind of need the winning piece for any of it to matter.
Any thoughts on that? 402-951-1620. We'll take them. We'll get to a couple of your questions when we return after this. Plenty more to come. Stay tuned. We have guest appearances from Alan True, Andy Kendi, and all of our adoring new fans up on the stairway. Joey, don't do that, as he is going to say after that. All right, we'll take a break. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Without being pessimistic for a second, John, all the big things in my lifetime have been really depressing.
9/11. So were the aliens, because they're probably here to eat us.
Maybe they're chill.
Highly unlikely.
How could you possibly know that?
Why else would they come here?
To see what's up. Why do we go to the moon?
Think about it for just a second. I landed on the moon to see what's up.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, minor stalling traffic on the JFK southbound between Highway 370 and Childs. That's with a C. Only a delay of about 5 minutes. Minor delay at 72nd and L as traffic is starting to pick up. Your commute on I-80 westbound from I-480 to I-680 should only take you about 6 minutes. We're only about halfway through this morning, but still no accidents. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
For a wild ride, enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pony Payout promotion. Until July 28th, enter non-winning $5 Pony Payout scratch tickets online for a chance to win a new red sports car. Pony Payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Dude Wipes is making it official. Toilet paper is a foul. Brown card issued.
You wouldn't show up to a soccer match with subpar equipment, would you? So why are you showing up to the bathroom with that dry toilet paper? Dude Wipes XL, wet and built to close out the game properly. We have our Dude Mountain here, a bunch of Dude Wipes in between the two bathrooms. Send a brown card and a free 10-pack of Dude Wipes to a toilet paper user in your life. You get started at dudewipes.com/brown card. Every squad has one.
The Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse is back for its 10th year. Don't miss your shot for good vibes, great memories, and unrivaled action from the biggest up-and-coming golf pros. Get your tickets for the weekend that never misses at thepinnaclebankchampionship.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today. Visit therollingstonesshop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
Disagree with every word out of our mouths? Tell us how you feel on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed.
Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
All right, 7:32 Wednesday morning. Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, and on 1620thezone.com. Get a comment here on the YouTube stream, which you could watch us all day, 6A to 6P. Krecky writes in, are you guys in the gorilla enclosure at the zoo? That's what they're asking. No. Would it be funny if people were on the outside looking in trying to throw food at us or something like that? It would be. Like, no. You would need a ladder or something like that.
Don't feed mozzarella sticks to the Happer.
No, do not do that. I would get sick.
He also goes on to say we'll be throwing our own poo in no time.
Could be.
I don't think any poo will be thrown.
Throw pickles at Schaefer.
Oh, yeah. Schaefer would not like that. He hates pickles.
Absolutely not.
Yesterday, Creighton basketball announced their full non-con schedule.
Did someone say schedules?
Someone did say schedules, and it was me, Joey.
Whoa.
Are you excited about this?
I'm very excited.
We have a non-con schedule, and you could put it on your calendar, and you can make sure that everything is all squared away.
It's on the calendar already.
There are not any overlaps with Nebraska football until the
Iowa game.
Until the Players era, Black Friday.
I was talking about Nebraska versus Iowa.
Nebraska, because Creighton plays Iowa as well.
Yeah, totally.
So
took me a while,
which is good, I think, for those of us here. Here's another thing to note: if you are a Creighton basketball fan, you have your bye games earlier in the season coming off of the exhibition games. You have a week and a half to get ready for the Vegas tournament, which is good. And then you have an additional week to get ready for Gonzaga, which is coming off the Nebraska game. There is appropriate rest in all these. The other thing to note locally for local sports fans, Nebraska and Creighton for the first time since 2019 on a Saturday. This is exciting.
That 2019 Saturday was a Nebraska giant win. I think.
Wrong.
No, that was I'm thinking of 2018.
Yes.
Okay. So 2019 would have been Fred Hoiberg's first year. That would have probably been a pretty ugly loss.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Can we get the box score of that game?
Sure.
I want to know how many minutes Matej Kavas played. Okay. I'm just trying to guess of who would have played in this game.
All right.
So
I could find that for you.
Gervais Green would have still been on the team at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was the whole crew. You remember the crew.
Well, I'm trying to remember the crew. Hanif Cheatham.
Hanif Cheatham was their dude. Yeah. Hanif Cheatham led the Huskers in scoring with 14.
Okay. Delano Banton.
This is, of course, Creighton's 95-76 win.
Oh, Celtic mention.
They scored 76?
76. 54 in the second half because I think Creighton started giving up. You know, they were like, okay, you could score as much as you want.
They started bringing in their CJ Reeves.
Creighton scored 48 in the first half.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yep.
Okay, so I mentioned Hanif Cheatham, Delano Banton, Gervais Green.
No, there wasn't a Delano Banton yet, right? This is pre-Delano Banton.
I thought this was the first year of Delano Banton.
This is Fred's first year.
Yeah, he didn't bring Delano Banton in that offseason?
I believe he sat that year. Same with what's his name? Derek
Oh, that's
Walker.
right.
Yeah.
This is when you had to sit out when you transferred.
People forget. Yes.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So him and Derek Walker were chilling.
Good Lord. This team's even worse than I remember.
That's
Matej
right.
Kavas.
Matej Kavas he played 11 minutes off, or 24 minutes actually off the bench. Yeah. Scored 11 points. Nice job.
They really didn't have holdovers.
Can you name their starters? Like, so you got Hanif Cheatham. Their other guard was Deshaun Burke. Remember Deshaun Burke?
No.
Wow, you don't remember Deshaun Burke at all?
Do I need to remember Deshaun Burke?
Well, I mean, he played for Nebraska.
So here's the problem. They
Okay.
went through roughly about 20 players
did.
in a 4-year stretch.
They
A
did.
lot of names are just not going to be stuck.
Gervais Green,
Okay.
Thor,
Forgot about Thor.
and then their big was young Ivan.
Say that again?
Young Ivan Ouedraogo.
Oh man.
You remember him?
There's a name I haven't thought about. He was French, right?
He was. And he
Yeah.
was like 17 years old. And Cam Mack came off the bench in this game.
Forgot about Cam Mack.
You had Matej Kavas, like you said. There was 10 minutes of Kevin Cross,
Kevin Cross before he got sideways.
before he
with
was
the
indicted.
FBI.
Yes. And then we had 4 minutes of Charlie Easley.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we had 3 minutes of Akol Rope
Okay.
in that game. For Creighton, this was a good team. They had Tyshawn Alexander, Mitch Ballack, Marcus Zagorowski, Damian Jefferson, and Christian Bishop. Of course, they would win the Big East.
And we'll never know how they would have done in the tournament.
No, but it would have been poor. Because,
You think so?
Yes, because Zagorowski was hurt.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
he got hurt at the end of the Seton Hall game when they clinched a share of
That's
the
right.
conference.
Who were they playing in the Big East tournament where the game
St. John's.
Yeah,
St. John's.
Yeah, they played a half of that and then they canceled it. Like
They were losing
after halftime.
They were losing at the half to the 8 seed. I was like, oh, yeah. COVID, please.
Wasn't Canfield starting for the Jays?
Oh, yeah,
in
it
place for
was-
Zagorowski.
That was a big game for Jet Canfield. So yes, first Saturday game for Nebraska and Creighton since 2019.
I'll be out of
that's
town.
exciting.
Say again. Wait, what, you guys both talked at the same time.
Go
again.
first, Schaefer.
I said that's exciting.
It is exciting. What'd you say?
And I'll be out of town for that.
Oh no, where are you going?
I'm going to be in Colorado celebrating my mom's 60th birthday.
Joey, you're always vacationing somewhere.
Yeah, Joey's always gone. He's going to be
the
gone,
last
going
time I
to
was-
Green Bay. He was at a wedding in Detroit.
That's not confirmed yet. The Green Bay's not confirmed yet. I got to get tickets first.
Oh, not confirmed.
Well, and I might be gone next Wednesday as well.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that, but I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So the last several years, they played on a Sunday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and then back to Saturday, where it was traditionally really before. So Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday. That's going all the way back to 2011. In that period of time, there have been 4 Nebraska wins and I think 9 Creighton wins over that period of time. But of course, famously, Nebraska won 3 out of the last 4.
a little Creighton, Nebraska talk
It'll
in July.
That'll be a fun game. It'll be a big game, I think, for both teams.
I think so too. I am also glad. I mean, there was this trend that was going on for a long time where they were playing each other a little early for my liking. I like the fact that they're playing a little bit later. This is Nebraska. This is Creighton's third to last non-con game. So it's December, and early December is the right time to do it. So Creighton will be coming off of the Players era. They will have played Iowa already. Nebraska will have played most of their big non-con games. The Providence thing would have already happened.
I think the Missouri will have already happened as well.
The funny thing about where it happens for Nebraska usually is that's usually around the week where you start playing those Big Ten games.
Which is why I think they would always prefer to play it slightly earlier in November. Right. Creighton would like to play it slightly later. Ultimately, I think it works fine where it's at. This had been traditionally kind of the weekend where it would be on.
This is where it should be.
Like I would, back in the olden times, there was always a question of if Nebraska plays in the conference championship game, how will we also cover Nebraska versus Creighton in basketball in our two-man operation of Husker 24/7?
I think we'll find a. I think
we never really ran into the issue a whole lot, as you might, believe it.
There was the one time, I don't know what. Well, let's see, what day?
2012.
What day was it in 2012? They did play on December 6th of 2012. So was that the same day of the Wisconsin game?
Was that a Saturday?
Actually, great question. 2012. Nope, it was a Thursday.
Yeah. So then we avoided the issue.
It was a Thursday in Lincoln, so that would have been
Nebraska might have had a conference game against Michigan State or something that Sunday that we were racing back for on the 2012 version of Trail of Tears and Sad Car Flags as we were driving back from Indy.
That's right. By the way, speaking of the Creighton-Nebraska basketball rivalry, Nebraska has a chance this year to even the all-time series.
Wow.
30-29, Creighton leads the all-time series. So
hooray!
There you go. They have a chance to make it squared up, 30-30.
That would be fun.
With
doing it in Omaha, too, on a Saturday.
With a win this year. Then Creighton will play Gonzaga a week later in a very anticipated non-conference home game, and then Mount St. Mary's, and then off to the Big East, I suppose, after that. Text from the 402, Schaefer's recall ability of specific sporting events and stats is simply impressive. I agree.
I will say that is pretty impressive.
I agree.
Some things, not all things.
Mike says Derek Walker sat out because he was suspended at Tennessee. Is that why he sat out?
Okay. Derek Walker was suspended internally by Nebraska, mostly, I think, from Trev Alberts because of failed
drug tests.
Yes. That was why, but that wasn't. I think he also had to sit out for a disciplinary reason from the NCAA as well. Like he
sat out the whole year for that?
I don't think he had to sit out a whole year. He missed a few games early in November.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember what year that would have been. Like I think
it was that year. That was the year.
I feel like the first time he returned, they were in Orlando playing in one of those tournaments or something.
Oh no, you know what? Actually, now that you say that, I think he sat out that year with transfer rules.
Yeah.
And then he sat out like part of the next year.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He had a delayed, like he didn't have the immediate return or immediate, start the next year. So I think he had to sit out for the transfer rules and then internally had to sit out.
I remember going to some of their practices, and I remember telling people because they were so bad in that first year. And I remember going over there and thinking, yeah, I think if they put this Derek Walker guy in here, it would change a couple things.
Well,
and it
did. It took him a few years for it to really matter.
He wasn't like an outstanding player, but man, he was a veteran who knew what to do and where to go, and that made all the difference for them.
He was really good playing face up, like as a passer. Like he had pretty good vision for a big man.
Yeah, and then he did change some things. He and a group of others, and Nebraska's in a different places, obviously, as a program right now. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Joey has headlines, still plenty to cover on a Wednesday edition of Happer and Schaefer from our new digs here on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is pretty awesome. Oscar's offers the MLB package, so your team is always on their upgraded audio-video system, and nothing is better than watching the game with a cold frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Start your engines.
Joe's Indoor Karting in Council Bluffs is off the charts crazy. Joe's Karting is fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing action at over 40 miles per hour. The only speed restriction on these karts is how good you are. Joe's Karting is located just a couple of blocks north of Bass Pro Shop and directly east of AMC Theater in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Go watch a movie. Come race at Joe's. Planning a bachelor party, graduation party, or just a night out with friends? Go to Joe's. Remember, Joe's Karting is your place to race.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and family-style commitment to care. It's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your source for premium Midwestern meats delivered right to your door, including hand-cut selections of USDA prime and choice beef. Go to heartlandsteakco.com. Now through August 5th, 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers, orders over $149.99. Promo code BURGERS. Taste the Heartland difference, heartlandsteakco.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Use Polymarket to trade the World Soccer quarterfinals. Delete that sportsbook app that's robbing you and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app, use promo code FOX to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FOX. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
1620 The Zone at 1620thezone.com.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're having a tough time or thinking about suicide, you're not alone, and there's hope. VA's Veterans Crisis Line has responders who listen and help. Many are veterans or have veteran family members and friends. so they're prepared to address your challenges. Don't wait. Dial 988, then press 1.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer rolls on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, live from our new 1620 The Zone studio with a beautiful window.
The big, beautiful window, the big, beautiful studio with a big, beautiful new TV.
And the temperature is a very reasonable,
and Mike's got a big, beautiful bug just lurking right behind him on the big, beautiful window.
He does. You can't quite see it because it's glared out on the stream, but there is a giant bug right behind you. Hey, that's that's our first fan who showed up. I'm here. All right.
He's in.
Joey, we got headlines. What do we got?
Yes, we do. Headline number 1, woman caught on camera digging up plants outside mall then driving off. And she is apparently a repeat plant thief they can't seem to stop.
Oh, so she's stealing. I just thought she was kind of digging them up and leaving them. That would be a bad prank. But
I'm going to be honest, it's going to take a really good second headline for me to not want to know more about plant thief woman here.
Okay.
So.
Well, the second headline's got a little pun into it. So here it is. Southern California wildfire betting site sparks arson fears as blaze spread.
California wildfire.
Okay, there's a lot happening in this headline, and I don't understand it.
Wildfire betting site. Oh, so like you can bet on if there was fires. This is like a Kalshi situation.
You have to click the link to find out.
I appreciate Joey not giving anything away. Where are you at? You want to?
Yeah, we're going to the plant.
Wildfire?
We're going to the plants.
Okay,
we're going to the plants. All right. Woman caught on camera digging up plants outside of the mall and then driving off. This is from. This is an aggregated story from Yahoo. Most thieves go after cash, electronics, or expensive merchandise. One woman, however, apparently has had her sights set on something much different: decorative flowers growing outside a Kansas antique mall. Surveillance video, as reported by KCTV5, recently captured a woman pulling up colorful coleus plants from large planters outside the Shawnee Antique Mall. According to employees, it wasn't the first time that flowers or even the planters themselves had been mysteriously removed. Instead of simply asking who steals the flowers, employee now asks a different question. How far will someone go just to take them? As employees say, this wasn't a one-time incident. Last year, someone they believed was the same woman walked away with the entire flower planter sitting outside of the store. Wanting to keep their landscaping where it belonged, employees replaced the containers and secured them with zip ties. That did work for a while, but according to staff, the zip ties were eventually cut and the planters disappeared again. So this year, they stepped things up. Instead of relying on plastic ties, they chained the planter boxes to the building. Unfortunately, that also did not stop this woman. They simply left the heavy containers behind, dug out the plants by hand before driving away. And this continues on. They continue to try to secure the planters, but it cannot be done against this one person who keeps stealing them. What is she doing with them? We don't know.
Yeah, I assume she's replanting them at her house or something. Or she's like selling them. Is there a black market for coleus plants?
I got to be honest with you. I
would probably think
like I am, with this house situation, I am interested in landscaping. Like I'm definitely taking more note these days of what people have in their front yards. It has never occurred to me that I could simply steal the landscaping and then put it in my yard. Maybe I should try this.
You could. So a coleus plant typically costs between $5 and $12 each. Specialty cultivators and large hanging baskets range from $15 to $45. So it's not like a huge total value steal. It's more just annoying. And then if you're taking the planters on top of it,
that's what costs some money, I would imagine.
Like just, I don't know.
How many plants does she need, though?
Apparently she needs more every year.
She wants to turn her house into a jungle.
The plants are not safe. Sorry to these folks at the antique mall in Kansas, but you're going to have to do some more to lock these suckers down. All right, those are the Those are the headlines, Joey. We appreciate them as always. We are halfway home. 8 o'clock hour coming up. Alan True will join us at the bottom of the hour. Andy Kendi still coming up at the 9 o'clock hour as well. We are still rolling from brand new Studio 2.0 here on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, disabled vehicle blocking the left turn lane on Dodge eastbound at 90th with slower traffic from I-680. Then we got some road construction from Nebraska 133rd to Military Road. Spotty delays along 72nd and L, but nothing to be worried about on your commute. TBH, I feel like a proud father. No accidents to report this morning. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center.
Dingman's Collision Center is Omaha's trusted name in collision repair. Locally owned, family operated, and committed to your safety. With 4 metro locations, we're here when you need us. Visit dingmans.com to learn more.
Xandar, these seats to the Nebraska football competition are unacceptable.
The solution is to enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pick 5 winning drive promotion.
Specify.
Until August 4th, when one buys $5 of Nebraska Pick 5 and enters the voucher number online, they could win Nebraska football sweet season tickets, a weekend football and volleyball experience, or regular season tickets.
Did you bring carbo snacks for this event?
Radiated corn kernels and chilled wiper fluid.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen. And I'm Dan Campanen, your unofficial co-host. 6 to 8 p.m. may look a little bit different these days, but it's still the same vibe. Open bars on Monday, what's happening on social media, and the takes you didn't ask for, but we're going to give to you anyway. Yeah, except now I've got to do more and try to keep Jimmy on the rails. Good luck with that, Dan. Stop by the After Hours Lounge from 6 to 8 p.m. as the sports schedule allows. Brought to you by Bellevue University on 1620 The Zone.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. Covers up to $3 million for the most comprehensive plan. So if your money is stolen due to identity theft, they've got you covered. If you have personal expenses while resolving identity theft, like paying for travel or extra childcare, LifeLock has your back. Need coverage for lost wages because work had to take a back seat throughout all of this? You guessed it, LifeLock has your back. Plus, there's coverage if you need to pay for fees for lawyers, experts to resolve your case. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join today. Save up to 30% on your first year. Promo code Patrick. 1-800-LifeLock or LifeLock.com. Promo code Patrick. Save up to 30%. Terms apply.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them. But I think in reality, he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620, The Zone.
More memories from the 2019 Creighton, Nebraska game flooding in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed.
Let's go.
Maybe this will jog your memory, Schaefer.
Remember, we were going to do this with random box scores.
I mean, yeah, this could basically double.
There's a thing here. There's definitely a thing here.
So Nick writes in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. He says that game had Zagorowski going off a 30-point lead in the first 10 minutes of the first half. And I think this is the most notable part of the game because Creighton was crushing Nebraska. Nebraska was terrible. It's Fred's first team. And it was early. They were like, they had what was their first game? They lost UC Riverside or whatever it was.
Incarnate War. Oh,
that was Miles' era. It was Riverside, wasn't it?
Yeah, they lost to Riverside.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that was that whole year, and within those first couple weeks of the season. But the most notable part of that game against Creighton in 19 was Sharif Mitchell in the open floor getting that. He had that spin move and then kicked it out to Mitch Ballack for three. And the game was over in the first 15 minutes. And
the game was over when the ball was tipped.
The ball is tipped and the game is over. That's exactly what happened in that game. Great memory. If you have any memories of, well, really any Nebraska Creighton game.
I think I was at the one where it was like 45-12 at one point. Creighton was ahead.
There was a long run.
There was also another good game, very competitive, that ended up like a 10-point game.
There was a long run of like the screenshots of the scoreboards, like just showing how bad Creighton was destroying Nebraska for a long time. Like the most famous one was the 38-8, I think, and that was in the year where. That was Doug's year. I'm pretty sure that was the year where Petaway and Gibbs were crawling with each other on the floor.
Yeah, no, that was a really competitive. The first version of that, where I think Gibbs and Petaway got into it, was the year before.
Because I'm thinking
the year that Nebraska went to the NCAA tournament, but that was a competitive game. It was a year after where Nebraska thought they had a chance to win when McDermott wasn't there. That Nebraska got blown out at home.
Yeah.
And so it was I was gonna say,
Austin Chapman.
One of the better versions of that game was 2013, 2013 when they would have played it, right? Because there's a 2013-2014 season was both teams went to the NCAA tournament, played in San Antonio. Is that right?
No, but that game was a blowout.
Was it?
Creighton, that was the game that I was just talking about. That was the one that got to 38-8, I'm pretty sure.
I thought there was another year.
December 8th, 2013, Creighton won by 15. I thought that game was a blowout.
No, it was. I think it was around 2018, 2019.
Well, maybe not.
I think 2018, 2019 is what I was talking about. It was around that time. It was when Tim Miles was still coaching for Nebraska. That was one of the games I was at.
Oh no, we're talking about something different now. But
yeah, I am trying to remember what game.
I'm pretty sure that was the one that got to 38-8, and Nebraska wore those horrific black jerseys. And, and that team did end up going to the NCAA tournament, but Creighton smoked them because that was Creighton's best team ever at that point.
There was one of those games in that stretch that was surprisingly way more competitive than you would have thought. And it wouldn't have been 2014 because Creighton led 18-2.
The stretch between 2014?
Yeah, it was 18-2. That was in
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the game where
that might have been a 38-8 game.
No, because the 38-8 game was in Omaha.
Okay.
It was the year before. I'm almost positive because it was the Gibbs and Petaway on the ground rolling around together.
I Googled. Al said it refers to the game from 2013. The final score was 82-67.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was 38-8.
I had some memory of that game being more competitive than it actually ended up being.
Yeah. So Bigelow just texted me. He says the Miles tournament team is the 38-8 picture, and Gibbs and Petaway fought. Then the year after that, like you just said, Creighton won at PBA without Doug. It was Austin Chapman. That game was crazy because Nebraska was the week before that they were ranked but they had like lost to Rhode Island and they got the court stormed on them and it kind of sucked some energy out. And then Creighton went in there and won, and it sucked like a lot of the energy out of basically that season. And that season was kind of dead after that. Joey, according to Bigelow, you were thinking of the Marcus Foster game where he went crazy.
Incarnate Word right after losing to Creighton that year.
Yeah.
That's kind of when things went really sideways for the rest of that season.
So in between 11 and 17, Creighton won every game by double digits. But then since then, Nebraska has won. They've split. It's 4-4 since then. But yeah, there were some times where it got pretty lean in there. There's no doubt about it. Any memories? Send them our way. 402-951-1620. I have a couple things that I want to get to here. Let's go back to Big 12 Media Days. Schaefer has been excited for the. What was that? What's going on? What'd you do?
I tried something before. I was testing.
Joey's over here experimenting.
I was experimenting before. You want to put a video. I don't know if it's going to work because it's probably going to do that. So I would probably advise not putting the video up because there's probably going to be an echo.
You don't want to do a video at all.
I don't know if it's going to work.
I think there's only one way to find out.
We have to try it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll try it.
All right. And I won't talk. I won't talk the entire time. So you could do whatever it is after that. All right, here we go. This is from Big 12 Media Days yesterday. A question from a Texas Tech-based reporter to that of Mr. Big Idea Commissioner.
I'm Dylan Rockin' Pregame. Commissioner, Texas Tech got fined over tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU paddles broke an always maker rule, has a tradition exemption. Sorsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders. Big 12 sued them anyway, while Cincinnati hasn't been yet touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe it?
Can you sit? Let me come closer to you. Stand up. Ask that question again, and I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you, so go ahead.
Texas Tech got fined for tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU has had paddles that were given a noisemaker exemption back in 2012. Sorsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders, and yet there is a lawsuit. Cincinnati has yet to be touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe them?
No, I didn't say greater than 12. You misquoted me. I said we're going forward as 16 strong, and that's my answer to your question. But thank you for that question. Appreciate it.
Great. Sorry about that. I talked too soon, but great question. What an excellent question. A great question in the history of Big 12 Media Days. He mispronounced tortillos incorrectly twice. It was awesome.
My guess is he has some sort of speech impediment.
No, I think he was really nervous.
It sounded like a stutter both times.
He was incredibly nervous.
Yeah, well, it could be all of it.
Because here are the things that were terrible about that video.
None of that question makes any sense.
Correct.
They're terrible.
That's one.
That's the part. Like ignoring the tortillas thing. If you're going to stand up and talk at media days, your question at the bare minimum should be a question and should make sense.
That's right.
That's it.
That did not happen.
That's the least you have to do.
This was a prepared, it appeared to be written question from this man, who is obviously a Texas Tech honk, who decided to try and get Brett Yormark with a gotcha type of question, which once again, I don't, the big picture of this here is it's absurd to me that the entire college football world is looking at Texas Tech like, what are you guys doing? And Texas Tech is sitting there like, we're we're being targeted. We are being attacked for all these different, like there is no bigger disconnect, I don't think right now in sports than the way that Texas Tech fans feel persecuted and the rest of college football just looking around and saying, what are you guys talking about? Just stop doing, you don't have, this is all voluntary. You don't have to be doing any of these things. And yet they get this guy and he shows up at Big 12 Media Days and he can't say to tortillos and twice. And he's written this prepared statement. He gets wrong the fact that he thought that there were 12 teams in the conference instead of 16. And then it gives Yormark an out to just basically flip the question off of his shoulder like it's a bug or something like that. He should have answered it and should have just said, he should have answered the question legitimately instead of just skirting away from it. But that's just another thing.
The other thing that I really enjoy about this is Yormark working that stage like he's a motivational speaker. Like he's, up there basically selling you about the book that's going to change your life with the plan that he has for you.
Yep.
The only thing missing is a more visual looking headpiece, I think, for him would have been a little bit better. But I love media days for the simple reason of there's people that really, really, really want to get on camera and ask questions. And then they get on camera and ask questions.
Well, of course,
their questions aren't good.
We do have the famous touchdowns and tangents guy who is great at Big Ten Media Days every year. And then we have the other famous the lady who asked the question
about grades and academics and everything.
No, but do you remember the famous one from a couple years ago? I was sitting there in the room. Well, it was in Lucas Oil Stadium. And so the room is quite large, but I was sitting across the room and
never thought about calling it a room before.
The question to Matt Rule at his first media day at Nebraska was something regarding some national tragedy that happened and Nebraska players' previous response to it or something, whatever it was awful and so awkward. But luckily Matt Rule is, a professional speech giver. So he just he bats it away like it's nothing. So he does a really good job at that. Brett Yormark could have probably done a little bit better, but he decided to do the move where he came out from outside the podium, which is always like a power move. It's like, let me come over there and I'm going to answer your question. Okay. It's like, okay, nice move.
Without having watched any Big 12 Media Days, I don't is there an actual podium or is he just working that stage? Because that's what that looked like.
I think he stayed behind the podium for every other question.
With that one, he's like, I got to come out and get a good look at this
But
guy.
For every other question, he said, thank you for your question. I saw a mashup of him yesterday saying, thank you for your question.
Thank you for your question.
I appreciate your question. That's a great, great, great question. So the main point from this weirdo Texas Tech guy was that why haven't the other schools been reprimanded for doing wrong things? And Texas Tech has been reprimanded or something like that. Long story short here. And then also the other hilarious part was the reporters in the background, which is a great image of any media days of reporters in the background when any questions get asked. And everyone's just like, come get me out
face
of
palming.
here. This is the worst thing ever. But the main point here is this Texas Tech thing, by Texas Tech's own doing as an entity, is not going away hilariously because they won't allow it to, because they feel as if they're being persecuted for some reason. It is true that Brendan Sorsby never did play a snap at Texas Tech and never will play a snap at Texas Tech.
You got that part right.
I don't know what they don't understand about the idea that Texas Tech did not have to defend this person at all and chose to a couple of different times until ultimately backing off at the I don't understand how this is not, something that's recognized.
I don't even understand why it would be germane to tortillas or paddles or whatever else. Like that entire question, it just, I have no idea why this was something that needed to be asked in the first place, but the thought process that even brings it all together is kind of remarkable.
Yeah.
That's media days.
It is. There was a story written on ESPN today, actually yesterday, a combo story. Max Olson, Heather Dinich, Jeremy Fowler, and David Purdom all wrote this on ESPN. And it's sort of, I'll give you the headline: Inside Brennan Sorsby's eligibility saga and the scars it left. And that gives you an idea of sort of the direction the story goes. I mean, this story, it ends with the quote from somebody inside the walls at Texas Tech, which is, "These things leave scars," which is most certainly going to be the case for Texas Tech. The attitude and the energy has changed on them, I would say, completely. I wasn't necessarily rooting for them a year ago, but you could, if we talked about this before, Schaefer, this idea that they were kind of this new age disruptor in college football and
just college athletics in general.
And they kind of changed the game a little bit with how they sort of approach things. And Cody Campbell's at the forefront of this, and then their football program makes the college football playoff, and it's sort of fun. You're like, oh, I kind of like this. And then they get sort of more defiant as they go along, and it comes to a head with this Brennan Sorsby situation. I think in a large part, their defiance on some other issues, it played into their defiance in the Sorsby situation, which this is the game changer on perception and how people feel about Texas Tech. This is not cute anymore. At least in my opinion, it's not cute anymore. I am rooting against them now.
Yeah,
I am now a hater of Texas Tech.
I definitely am not a hater of Texas Tech, in large part because I just wanted Joey McGuire to be successful, because I appreciate and enjoy Joey McGuire. The way that they sort of
the Joey McGuire thing has been
the way they handled all of it though is off-putting. Like it definitely sort of changes the tenor and the view of all of it. And like you said, I mean, I appreciated the sort of the disruption of it. I always find it, and I still find it somewhat comical, that people get upset that there's money at Texas Tech to do things, but not if there's money at the blue-blooded, older programs that are having success with it too. Like, I still don't understand why there's a disconnect that if Texas Tech ends up with someone, it's buying the player, but if Ohio State ends up with someone, it's Ohio State. So they're definitely not buying.
Yeah, for me,
player.
it's just the defiance.
Yeah, the recency of all of this.
The attitude. I mean, they're basically the Yankees, and the Yankees are looking around like, why does everybody hate us? What?
More like the Dodgers, I guess, if you would.
Now, I guess the new age Dodgers.
The current Dodgers.
People go into the, free agency in the offseason and, the Yankees got them again. And now the current age.
It'd be great if it comes out that Texas Tech is deferring all of their money over a 30-year plan.
They'll actually pay their players $30 million later, but $0 right now. I wonder how that would work out. Probably not very well. But then, how the Yankees and Dodgers fans do it. They're like, whoa, what did we do wrong? Well, why does everybody
rooting for our team?
Why does everybody hate us? It's the sort of defiance of it all. And then the fan bases, I think, play a factor in this too. And now they're getting more defiant in that category as well. You see the guy from the, quote unquote media, he goes in and, puts on a suit jacket and says tortillos a whole bunch of times. And this is not helping the cause. This is not helping the cause.
By the way, the new Chia commercials.
By the way, Joey, can we grab that as a drop? Can you take the Tortillos guy?
Yeah, I'll get that.
Every time Texas Tech comes up now, I think we're just going to throw in the Tortillos.
I'll work on that after the show.
Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that's the newest, the latest, and the greatest from Big 12 Media Days, which, as you know, and as Schaefer has mentioned a couple of times, all media days are dumb.
They are.
And they will continue to be dumb. That much is for sure.
And we'll continue to talk about them. So the joke's on us.
It's in July.
It is July.
Of course we're going to talk about it. Memories flooding in from previous Nebraska-Creighton basketball games.
Amazing.
So Bigelow sent us a tweet from that day.
Yeah, that was the game I was at.
2019, 37-7. And of course, the one that we mentioned before, 2013, got to 38-8. So two separate occasions, great scoreboard pictures. One of the best scoreboard pictures, I think that I still have it in here somewhere. At one point, this is probably 3 years ago, I think Creighton led Georgetown like 20 it was like 21-0 or maybe 1. And it was pretty hilarious. Patrick Ewing could not stop calling timeouts. He was like, I have to take timeouts. This is what I do as a head coach. I have to take timeouts. That will fix everything. It did not. They were able to score like 1 point. I love it when the team has won. That's always the funniest possible result.
Yeah. The made free throw, the missed free throw, all of it.
Black Cat sent us a picture of himself from across the arena. Looks like he's in the Nebraska student section wearing a blue shirt. He's at the top. This is before, though. This is from the 2014 game, which is the one that Creighton won on the road after they lost Doug and all those different things. This is a couple years before. Remember the Creighton kids who got in the front row somehow of the Nebraska student section?
That was the Baylor Shireman game.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And that was the game that Creighton won by 30, but everybody says it's 29, even though it was 30.
I remember for me, it stands out more of the student section thing. There was a couple girls in the Nebraska-Kansas Big Monday game that ended up in the like front row of the red zone and then had Kansas shirts on underneath. Then were escorted out.
They got told to leave?
Well, yeah, they couldn't wear the non-red zone shirt in that section. Basically.
Really?
Yeah, more or less.
It's just a Kansas game
section.
thing? I know it was a section. I went to some games.
They happen to remember that one. I don't remember the Creighton guys though.
Yeah, it was. I think you're right, Joey. That was the Baylor Shireman.
Yeah, that was in 2023.
Yeah, he got off about like 33s in that game, I think himself. And
they
ended up scoring a lot.
He dominated.
But
it was 95-58 or something.
Exactly. Oh, it wasn't that bad. It was they won by 29, but they won by 30. It was like 95-76.
Which is winning by 29.
Exactly. Thank you. Math. So 402-951-1620. Text from the 402. Do you think making fun of a person with a speech impediment is a good idea? No, he doesn't have a speech impediment. He mispronounced it because he was reading off of a sheet a couple of different times. He does not have a speech impediment.
Yeah, it sounded like a stutter. I don't know if he normally has it or not, but I have no idea. I don't know who this individual is.
I don't either. And I don't think it's a good idea to do that. That's why I'm not doing it.
Do we even know who he works for?
No.
Do you
I'm
know
sure the internet,
name of the reporter?
I'm sure the internet does, but I didn't care to look yesterday. I'm sure it's for redraiders.com, redraidersportshonk.com or something like that. All right. 402-951-1620. Want to hear from you guys on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. As always, we continue on, and we will talk next with Alan True of Rivals and On 3. We'll get some recruiting things from him, covering regional recruiting and a variety of other different things for On 3. We'll do that when we return on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Chicago is calling Husker fans. You could win a trip or two to watch Nebraska volleyball at historic Wrigley Field. We'll fly you there, put you up for 2 nights in downtown Chicago, hook you up with game tickets, and even give you $150 to enjoy the city. Listen for the Road to Wrigley Sounder on 1620 The Zone. Then head to 1620thezone.com to enter for your chance to win this incredible experience. Presented by Union Bank and Trust. At UBT, people don't have your money has people. Member FDIC at 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, accident blocking the center lane on the JFK southbound at Q with stop and go from L. Further down US 75, we got a lane closure from Cape Park to Harlan Drive. Slower traffic on Dodge eastbound between 180th and 156th. Heavy traffic jam on I-80 eastbound between 72nd and West Center. First accident of the day, but that's all right. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
For a wild ride, enter the Nebraska Lottery's Pony Payout promotion. Until July 28th, enter non-winning $5 Pony Payout scratch tickets online for a chance to win a new red sports car. Pony Payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
Mornings at Early Bird have always been pretty great, and now they just got better. Come in from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. and grab your favorites for just $9.99, like the AM pot pie, biscuits and gravy, or the Early Bird with 2 eggs, meat, hash browns, and toast. Talk about the perfect way to start your day without breaking the bank. Oh, and there's Flocktail Hour. From 12:30 to 2:30, get 50% off all cocktails every day. Breakfast, brunch, or a midday pick-me-up. Early Bird. Not your everyday brunch, every day.
At Remodel Nebraska, we've been told that we're pretty good at what we do. But don't believe me, believe the customers.
After we gave a down payment to a sunroom company, they flat out dropped the ball. We contacted Remodel Nebraska. We met with Jack, and he told us that he would work hard to earn our trust. And we have to admit, Jack and the crew, they all did a great job.
Go to remodel-ne.com and schedule a free estimate.
Remodel Nebraska.
Mike Schaefer here. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means right here in Nebraska. Win or go home. That's it. That's the World Cup. They are now in the quarterfinals, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app is now live in Nebraska, so whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Nebraska, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1620. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1620 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
If you haven't been to Funplex in a while, you really need to see what's waiting for you now. More rides, more slides, more reasons to make a day of it. Because these days, it's not just the Funplex you remember, it's Shipwreck Chutes. It's the redesigned Funplex Speedway. And now, it's the brand new Mammoth, Nebraska's biggest, best, and fastest roller coaster. Obviously, there's only one thing left to do. Funplex and find out. 70th and Q, dude. Tickets at fun-plex.com.
Looking for a checking account that's quick, easy? With Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, you can open an account online in minutes. We offer 13 locations across Nebraska, including Omaha, Blair, and Fremont. Visit LincolnFed.com today to open your account, or stop by one of our local branches. Modern banking trusted by Nebraskans. Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. Member FDIC.
Personal banking like you remember.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Disagree with every word out of our mouths? Tell us how you feel on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed.
You are listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Happer Schaefer rolls on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer with you from our brand new studios this morning. And our very first guest from our new studio is a first timer on the wait, unless you had Alan on when I was gone one day. Have you done that, Schaefer?
No, this is the first time for Alan True, but we have interviewed him before as part of the recruiting hour.
That's right. Alan True joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Alan, thanks for doing this. How are you?
Yeah, no problem, guys. I'm good.
You didn't expect to be a history maker this morning, but you are. So congratulations. First guest in the new studio.
I wake up every morning prepared for just about anything. So I appreciate the curveball. It is an honor, though. Thank you, guys.
As you have to be in the space that you are in, especially around this time of the year. Guys are committing to different places for different reasons and all these sorts of things. Let's zoom in a little bit on Nebraska, their class, and the trend on them right now. Obviously, it's headlined by Trey Taylor at the moment, and he's been a big impact as far as them being able to put it together. How do you feel about the way that things are trending for Matt Rule and Nebraska's 27 class in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's trended way up now. In the national top 20 on Rivals with 22 commits. Obviously, Trey is the headliner, and I know they've had to hold off some schools for him a little bit. They've had to do the same for Torrey Pittman. I think they've done a good job of not only getting guys in the class but keeping them, which is a big part of today's game, especially in recruiting. I think they've won some really nice battles, like Nemaya Mbati. That was not an easy one. I followed that one pretty closely. Khalil Taylor was one they came from behind on. And so I think top to bottom, when you look at the class, you have some real headliners. I think you have a good group of local kids from the state of Nebraska, and then you're able to go out, win some battles, flip some guys like a Caleb Green. And so I think all in all, really, really good work by this Nebraska staff so far to have a top 20 class.
Yeah, so Nehemiah Mbadi is out of the Minnesota area and someone that I'm guessing you're fairly familiar with. This is one of the big gets Nebraska has on the defensive line, an area where they've sort of struggled to kind of add and develop talent. What do you know about him? What is Nebraska getting here with the defensive lineman from Shakopee?
Yeah, I think a really, really explosive player, first of all, a good athlete who – in some of the camp settings that we've seen him in, moves like a much smaller guy than what he is. And I think in today's, it's just hard to find, I think, defensive tackle bodies. And it's even harder to find defensive tackle bodies who can move the way he does. He's not just a space eater. He's a guy who can get upfield, rush the passer, makes a lot of plays in the backfield. I think he transferred over to Shakopee from a smaller school, got acclimated to that level of competition really fast last year. And based on what we've seen this offseason and kind of the growth from his sophomore year to junior year, I really think he's going to have a giant senior season.
Alan True is with us from Rivals in On 3. So, you zoom in on a couple of the different guys. It's hard to talk about the class without, mentioning Trey Taylor and his sort of presence in it. But as you said before, Alan, they've been able to sort of assemble a good class, and it's about keeping it. I guess the question is then, are they able to sort of do enough on the field to be able to keep this thing together, which looks like a very, very good class right now. How often do you deal with, the schools that seem to have some momentum in recruiting and then are or aren't able to, cash in on it when they get to the football field in the fall? And does it feel like Nebraska is at this sort of, inflection point right now?
Yeah. So, I think what happens is if you have a really good class and you don't have a great season, you run the risk of other schools coming in and trying to poach your class. Now, that being said, I think there's this idea that if we don't win enough games, the whole class is just going to fall apart. In my experience, that's not really the case. Now, you may lose a couple of your best pieces because those are the guys, when schools go through your list and say, who are we going to poach? They're going to try to go for the top guys first. In my experience, the whole class doesn't fall apart, but you may get a couple of key pieces poached. But I also think a lot of those kids who commit to schools, and the kids know the situation. They know if they're committing to a national championship contender. They know if they're committing to a complete rebuild. They know if they commit to a school that's at a little bit of a crossroads. So I don't think these kids generally get surprised by much. They pick the schools for more than just that. They get really, like in this class, these kids are really close to each other. They're really close to the staff. They're very familiar now with Lincoln and the campus and all of that. And I think it takes a lot for a kid to move off of that in general.
So, Alan, Nebraska had Claude Mpuma as part of the 2025 or 2026 class. Trey Taylor, part of 2027. Obviously, he's going to finish his career at Millard South, but a well-known player in the Chicagoland area. Do you think they can continue this momentum in Illinois, in Chicago specifically, particularly if guys like Claude Mpuma and Trey Taylor become key cogs for the Nebraska Cornhuskers moving forward under Matt Rule?
Yeah, I do. I think the whole Midwest is open to Nebraska based on, their staff and what the campus is like, the game day experience, the fact that they've, been able to recruit well in some of these Midwest states. I will say that it is getting harder to get into Illinois. Brett Bielema has done a really good job, a much better job than the previous Illinois staff of kind of trying to put the fence around Illinois Northwestern. This staff is kind of doing a sneaky good job of that too. And obviously schools like Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, et cetera, are always going to recruit there. But Nebraska can have success. I would say they need to continue to recruit the state of Illinois, and even some guys that they not just the guys that you get. I always think you have to also look at who are some of the big timers that they were in on, and they were right in the mix for a guy like Tavares Harrington and a couple other Illinois kids that they made some progress on. So that's a state that I think Nebraska should definitely continue to recruit, because I think they can have success. And obviously, if Trade Taylor turns out to be what we all think he can be, that's a big boost as well.
In general, Alan, is there an area of the country or a specific area of a region where you feel like Nebraska should automatically be? I mean, Illinois, I think, is a pretty decent example of that, just given the proximity to it and the amount of recruits that are there. But historically, we've seen different staffs move around and put their emphases on different areas of the country. Is there one to you where it feels like Nebraska has to be there or should be there in order to, have success with actually getting players?
Yeah. So, the one place that I don't think that they have to be, but they're doing well, is in the Southeast. Like, there's a Georgia contingent in this class that's really good. They're having a lot of success down there, so they should keep going there. In my mind, obviously, I am more regionally based. Locally based, I think recruiting is national for everyone now, but you still got to win the major areas within a certain proximity of your school. And I think for Nebraska, that's this Kansas City to St. Louis area. Mm-hmm. And I think now, you have some ties on the staff. You've had some wins in that area. I think that was the case this year with the aforementioned flip of a guy like Caleb Green. And so, and that area has a lot of talent, and that talent I don't think is necessarily beholden to one school or another. Some kids are Kansas State, some kids are Mizzou, and so I think those are battles that Nebraska can get in there and win. And in the case of Caleb Green, you see, it's easy to get those guys to camp, easier to get those guys to campus.
Alan, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you cover a lot of the Midwest region, and you're relatively close in proximity where you live over to Michigan State, and you usually have great relationships with the staffs over there. I am really sort of curious, how have things been since hiring Pat Fitzgerald, a guy who, when he was at Northwestern, that's a different thing to try to recruit to. Now he's at Michigan State. How has that whole picture kind of come together with Pat Fitzgerald, a longtime successful coach at Northwestern, doing recruiting wise at Michigan State now?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look at it on paper, like if you pull up their commit list, I think you would say like it's fine. It's kind of a ho-hum class on paper. Nothing particularly eye-catching, but not a bad class either. For me, having covered Pat Fitzgerald for a long, long time, and the way that he recruits, this is exactly where I expect him to be. And I think with Coach Fitz, you always expect there's going to be somebody in this group that nobody expects to be good. He did it over and over again at Northwestern. I mean, they were recruiting nationally in the 50s and 60s, and we're going to Big Ten championship games with those rosters. Pretty amazing stuff. I think he's tried not to compromise on that approach. We'll see if it works now. It's obviously a very different Big Ten today than it was when Northwestern was going to those games in Indy. So I don't know if that still works with the way the conference has expanded and the competition has increased. But so far, Pat Fitzgerald has stuck to his guns, and I think is recruiting the type of player and the type of kid that he always recruited at Northwestern, which typically isn't your high 4-star, 5-star kind of guy.
Alan True, Rivals on 3. Alan, we will let you go. Always appreciate you stopping by. We'll do this again sometime. And congrats again on being a history maker this morning.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the rest of the day off and just kind of bask in the glow of that honor.
Yeah, the ribbon is in the mail. Don't worry. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, guys.
That is Alan True of Rivals and On 3. Our dear friend. Our now dear friend.
Yeah, he was a dear friend, and now he's a dear friend again.
A dear friend again.
Once a
There's
friend,
nothing
always a
better
friend.
than getting a dear friend back.
Wow, that is true.
We have dear friends, and we have returning dear friends.
Had many dear friends.
We'll have dear friends taking over for Schaefer for the next 2 days
That's
as well.
Yes, that's right.
Dear
That's
friends.
true. Just dear friends.
The dearest of them all.
All over the place. If you're a dear friend of us here at 1620 The Zone, then you might want to see us be idiots. Next Friday at the Omaha Storm Chasers.
You're an idiot.
So if you'd like to go, and somebody's going to make a fool of themselves throwing out a first pitch next Friday night, the 17th, against Lehigh Valley, and the Storm Chasers take them on Everything Nebraska night. It's also 1620 The Zone night. Would you like to go? Hit us up right now, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline, 402-951-1620, and be caller number 3. Once again, 402-951-1620, and you will win tickets, 2 of them, to July 17, Lehigh Valley in Omaha at Warner Park. And once again, with the special bonus attraction of 1 or 2 or any of us looking like idiots trying to throw out a baseball for a first pitch. Once again, 402-951-1620. Joey will hook you up with those. If you're caller number 3, we'll be back right after this on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
The Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse is back for its 10th year. Don't miss your shot for good vibes, great memories, and unrivaled action from the biggest up-and-coming golf pros. Get your tickets for the weekend that never misses at thepinnaclebankchampionship.com.
Prairie Flower Casino gives you more. More ways to play with 600 slot machines, sportsbook, and live table games, plus market-exclusive bonus spin extreme progressive and Battle 1, 2, 3. And there's more to enjoy every evening at Sky Bar and Grill with great food, cold drinks, wall-to-wall sports, and the friendly service you love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
1620 The Zone traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, accident blocking the center lane on the JFK southbound at Q with stop and go from L. Further down US 75, we got a lane closure from Cape Park to Harlan Drive. Slower traffic on Dodge eastbound between 180th and 156th. Heavy traffic jam on I-80 eastbound between 72nd and West Center. First accident of the day, but that's all right. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's.
It's summertime and it's muy caliente. So skip your kitchen and come to Fernando's for great summer treats fresh from the grill. Try something crunchy and cool like Fernando's sweet corn dip along with the satisfying margaritas. At Fernando's, caliente is cool. FernandosOmaha.com.
1620 The Zone at 1620thezone.com. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Could we make an argument for it actually being Michigan State or Maryland?
Well, that's where I wanted to start. I'm just going to run down the list. Obviously, it's none of the first 3.
No.
Though it could be like the Georgia Southern game was a defining moment for Scott Frost.
100%. I mean, it's his last
losing
game.
to Bowling Green, North Dakota could feel like that. But honestly, those 2 games, Michigan State being the first road game and Maryland being the first conference home game.
It's before Indiana and Oregon.
If you lose either of those 2 games, there's a good chance you're not going to a bowl game. Mm-hmm. Or at least the chances of not going to a bowl game go significantly higher. If you're of the belief, hey, man, this is a really, really tough schedule. And in the words of Bill Moose, we just got to get to 6. If you're of that mindset.
It's about piling up wins.
Then you got to win the winnable ones. And those 2 are the first 2 of the winnable ones where you don't have to squint that hard to go, oh boy, that could stumble.
Not to mention, so if you look at the Bill Connolly SP Plus numbers, which we have done on the show a few times so far this offseason, Nebraska right now is favored in 6. They're underdogs in 6. The games that they are favored in include Michigan State on the road, include Maryland at home. And so if you lose one of those games, in theory, right now on paper, you have lost a game that you are favored to win. And thus, then, to get even to 6-6, it would require you pulling an upset against a team that you are favored to lose against.
I think it's Maryland and Michigan State because it's the first, conference games that's important. I think those will really set the vibe
100%.
For the season.
John, the other thing that we've not mentioned is we keep talking about 5-0 runway, 5-0 runway. Mm-hmm. How many times have you and I sat on this show and said they have the path to a blank record?
Yep.
And they never get there.
And they never do.
And so if they're going to finally get to the hot start before the big dog comes in or before you travel to the big dog, it would require you to win both of those games.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, congratulations to Lisa. Let's go on to the Omaha Storm Chasers game next Friday. And bring a friend along with you. We'll be there for 1620 The Zone night, which I'm excited about. And maybe there's reason for you to be as well. We'll be giving away tickets for the remainder of the week here on this very show. Speaking of this very show, if you go to @HappenShafe on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed right now, you will find a video that has the behind-the-scenes footage of the old studio and the transition to the new. And it features Joey being very excitable in the video.
I'm very excited.
Joey, you were the star of this video. Not even the windows were the star compared to you.
I know that.
Of course.
No, I was trying to bring in the energy because
You had
Schaefer
great
wouldn't do
energy.
such. Schaefer is not bringing any kind of energy at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
Schaefer, where's your
I
energy?
didn't know that you were doing this, and then you're just doing a
His
video.
way-
And I was like, I don't know if he's talking to somebody. I'm just looking at you, and it's like, wave you away.
His
Going on
way
to
of
what I'm doing.
showcasing the energy is just adjusting his mic at the start of the show, which thanks to Josh Peterson
it
for
around.
posting that onto the
That
Twitter.
is now part of the official record of the new 1620 The Zone studio, which, by the way, I did get some.
These are much better microphone stands, by the way.
They're a little bit more solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the giant complaints I had when you were gone would be how the microphone stand basically bumped into the monitor and would turn it off, and like
A little bit more
there's so much more space.
A little bit more desk
Oh,
space.
a lot more room.
Here's the
for
thing I
activities.
just noticed, Schaefer. The wiring for both the microphones on the host side, except minus the middle one, purple and yellow.
Okay.
Oh, for nine.
But if you include the vacant microphone between you two and Schaefer's mic, green and yellow.
Interesting.
Then I
Wow.
got this lousy red microphone. We need a blue wiring for the Jays.
I agree. Maybe we'll get a
Blue
blue
or
cord.
for the Jays, or do you want to keep going with the NFC North here and get blue in for the Lions?
Oh,
and
that's
for
true.
the,
Honolulu
Bears?
Blue Wire coming to studio.
Joey
near
over
you.
here wants more
I don't-
Bears and Lions related stuff.
Yeah, we sure do.
By the way, I did get a small history lesson on the history of the Zone studio.
Oh, this is good.
Wonderful.
So Josh Peterson, who's basically been around since day one. I'm sure he'll regale you with these facts a little bit later.
He's a veteran.
So he says the first time he ever came into the station was in 2006.
Okay.
At which point the Zone was in the studio, which is now occupied by Suite 98, which is back there
so
up
that,
against the
wow.
middle.
So I was wrong. I originally thought it was the Power Studio, which is next door to that.
Sometime right before Schick and Nick started in 2009, they moved into the studio that we were formerly in as of yesterday. And then they had been there since then. We had been there since. So it's almost 20 years of being in the same studio, and it didn't change very much.
No, the
only
first
thing that
time-
happened is during COVID, there was a wall that went up and a shower curtain.
Incredible.
That ended though, so that's good.
Incredible.
Who knows? Something could happen in the future. I made a
Joey predicted
proclamation
another
yesterday.
pandemic yesterday.
He did throw
But
that on
but
us.
I was initially preparing for another 1929
That's right.
So I have a safe.
A financial panic is what Joey
I have a
is
safe.
rooting for.
People forget I have a safe.
Not an epidemic of sizable health proportion. So.
Yeah. So there's your brief.
When was the first time you were ever in this building?
That's a good question. I probably once, I think famously when Michael was doing a show, I don't know what iteration of what show it was, but I called in and I won tickets to a concert at the Stir Cove.
Okay.
This is probably, I don't know, I'm going to guess like 15 or 16, somewhere around there. But it wasn't before that. It wasn't any time before that. I would drive by it every day on my way to high school, and I would listen to Power 106.9 because they had a show that I liked on in the morning, and it was a nationally syndicated show, but I had no idea what radio was, and so I thought like Lil Wayne was in there. I was like, whoa, is he in there right now? That dark room that I'm looking at right off of Dodge Street? He was not. Lil Wayne was not in there.
Syndication, like, ruined many things for the way my small brain used to work.
I know, yeah.
When I was a child, you'd be listening to stuff out of Columbus and Norfolk and being like, wait a minute, they're in studio and like down the street?
No, they're not at all.
What?
Nope.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, for me, it was 2011 was the first time I was ever in this building. I sat in, did stuff with Chris Schmidt and Mark Kranak with the Huskers Illustrated radio show that was on Saturday mornings.
That is a throwback.
And then the show that followed us was a wildlife show, like a game and
was it the Greg Wagner outdoor?
I don't think it was Greg Wagner. I think it was somebody else.
Okay.
But I just remember the first time I was ever here, I walk out and this guy's like, hey, do you want some deer sausage and deer jerky? It was amazing. And this radio thing is great. I need to do this.
That set the tone for you getting free stuff basically every time you walk into a radio
I tell people all
studio.
the time, I am always amazed at how much free food radio stations like at the ticket, I just felt like people would just be dropping stuff off constantly.
There's just stuff that comes around. Yeah.
As a fill-in host, the amount of things that I have received or food that I have been given or whatever prior to ever being an employee,
we have
insane.
We have great listeners.
Yeah, people are incredibly generous,
and for some reason they like us. Maybe they like us.
I don't understand it. I know everybody that works here. I don't know why anyone likes any of us.
Maybe they like us so much that they'll go up onto the stairs and
Joey
wave
says
a flag.
No.
Joey
Don't
says
do
no.
that.
Though. All right. Quick this week in baseball, real quick. So Tyler Tolbert, who I introduced you to yesterday, you were like, "Who is this Tyler Tolbert guy?" Yesterday or 2 days ago, he went 5 for 5.
Huge guy.
Yesterday, he started 5 for 5. That is off of the previous day of having 2 hits in his previous 2 plate appearances. So all in all, he got 12 hits in 12 consecutive plate appearances, and the last 3 in the game last night in the Royals 16-12 win over the Mets were like infield. Like the last one was a check swing I did not mean to and got on first base. There was a couple blue pits. The last 3 I think were all hilariously infield singles. So the only person that he joins only, I believe, one other person to do this ever. 12 hits, 12 consecutive plate appearances, not at bats. Walt Dropo, who played for the Tigers in like the early 60s. I apologize to Walt if I didn't pronounce his name right. It's either Dropo or Dropo. I don't know.
I'm going to my favorite website, which is Baseball Reference, and I will look up Walt Dropo's career and be mesmerized.
So here's the other thing. The fact that he did it as he is basically I mean, he's not a replacement player per se, but he's not a very good one, right? He's like a career 200 hitter, Tyler Tolbert is. He is the first player in Major League Baseball to have back-to-back 5-hit games. 2 games in a row, back-to-back 5-hit games since Roberto Clemente. And only one person other than Tyler Tolbert and Roberto Clemente have done that feat ever. Back-to-back 5-hit games. And it was in the early 1900s. So I think it was 1912, 1970 Roberto Clemente, and 2026 Tyler Tolbert. The only 3 people to ever have back-to-back 5-hit games.
That's remarkable.
It's
Talk
unbelievable.
about incredible company to keep. Walt Dropo, former Rookie of the Year, one-time All-Star. In 1950, 34 homers, 144 RBI.
Hello, Walt Dropo.
Never came close to that again the rest of his career. I guess he had 29 homers, 97 RBIs.
I apologize, Walt Dropo. I wasn't familiar with your game. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Nice job. Anyway, Tyler Tolbert joins the club. Put him in the Hall of Fame. They had the authenticator there and all that stuff last night. And the Royals somehow fended off the Mets by scoring 16 runs. Ridiculous game last night in Queens. That's this week in baseball. We'll come back, 9 o'clock hour. Andy Kendi still set to join. We continue on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Plum Ride Time Saving Traffic Center, accident blocking the center lane on the JFK southbound at Q with stop and go from L. Further down US 75, we got a lane closure from Cape Hart to Harlan Drive. Slower traffic on Dodge eastbound between 180th and 156th. Heavy traffic jam on I-80 eastbound between 72nd and West Center. First accident of the day, but that's all right. I'm John Stanton.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center.
Dingman's Collision Center is Omaha's trusted name in collision repair. Locally owned, family-operated, and committed to your safety. With 4 metro locations, we're here when you need us. Visit dingmans.com to learn more.
Certified Transmission built its reputation on the job done right. It means hard work, honesty, and integrity.
And quality service that makes customers feel confident and secure in their vehicles.
At Certified Transmission, our expertly trained technicians diagnose, service, and repair transmissions.
And together, we ensure our customers leave satisfied and worry-free.
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Find a location near you at certifiedtransmission.com.
Gingrich Structures builds agricultural, commercial, and residential post-frame buildings designed to meet your needs. All built with superior craftsmanship and attention to every detail. From planning to completion, your local Gingrich Pro will guide you every step of the way, helping you create a custom post-frame building you can count on for years to come. Visit GingrichStructures.com to connect with your local Gingrich Pro and ask about the industry's only 5-year workmanship warranty. That's GingerICHStructures.com.
Looking for a career that actually means something? With the Omaha Police Department, you'll get paid training, real support, and the chance to serve a community that matters. As Nebraska's largest law enforcement agency, OPD sets a strong standard and backs it up with competitive pay, including 5% above surrounding areas. If you're ready to start strong and build a future you're proud of, apply now at joinopd.com. Are you ready for more?
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
Easy Cater, the workplace food platform, makes it easy to order food for all your workplace needs.
From favorite restaurants, don't forget that.
Who are you?
Tina. I'm Tina. I use Easy Cater at my job.
Well, I am the voice of Easy Cater. Don't you have work to do?
Not as much now that Easy Cater saves me all that time ordering food for the office, with great options for any group size or budget, all on one platform. Just trying to spread the word.
Fine, let's do the last bit together. Easy Cater, it's all the food for your workplace.
All in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Oh, you're not terrible.
I'm Omaha Athletic Director Adrian Dow, and I want to introduce you to 3 Omaha schools that are playing a vital role in keeping our community strong. We serve nearly 600 pre-K through 8th grade students, most of whom come from disadvantaged neighborhoods. These students receive a values-based education with the family support they need. I'm a proud member of the Q's Fund Board, which supports the Q's school system. To learn more, go to Q's Schools, that's CUES schools.org.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at matt@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
We should all be proud of our public schools in Nebraska. We're ranked 13th in the nation for academic performance with an 88% graduation rate. And Nebraska public school students outperform nearly all peer states nationally on the ACT entrance exam in English, reading, math, and science. Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org, and we'll send you a Public School Proud t-shirt.
In school sports, it's easy to see the wins, the moments that make headlines. But there's so much work that goes unseen for any of it to happen. My name is Phil Risen, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Throughout the country, athletic administrators dedicate countless hours to making life-changing opportunities possible for student athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620, The Zone.
9 o'clock, or just shy of it, and now it's 9 o'clock. 9, at least according to Big Clock, here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone. 1620thezone.com and the Zone Radio Network. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, and Joey Warcola with you from our new studio here, still at 50th and Dodge. But as Matthew writes in on YouTube, 50th and Dodge is a pretty heavily traveled area. You look like you're not too far from the street. Hopefully your building doesn't attract minivans and U-Hauls like the one building in the Benson area. Hopefully that is the case. I've seen a large swath of cars that have randomly run into buildings lately.
I saw a meme of that building the other day, and it had the Kool-Aid Man, from...
Oh, yeah,
when it crashes through the wall.
Sure.
But yeah, I saw that yesterday. That was funny.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I hope that does not happen to us. But nothing about us moving studio would have any impact on that.
Well, luckily we are above ground, so we shouldn't have to worry about that kind of a thing happening.
Unless they took out the structural integrity of the building, which I don't know. I don't know how good
I think
that
we're
is.
fairly safe here. There's a lot that would have to happen.
I feel very safe.
That's good. I want you to feel safe and secure at your place of work.
I do, as always. All right. A couple things to get to here before we talk to Andy Kendi, who might be a decent person to ask about this. So another response to the U.S.'s loss in the World Cup this week. As tradition would have it, it happens every single time the U.S. loses in the World Cup. People start to wonder, what is wrong with our youth sports system? Which that's always the reason it comes up, and here we are, and it's happening again. So people are now theorizing / wish casting that the most recent U.S. Soccer World Cup loss will result in somehow our terrible garbage youth sports system getting revamped.
They're terrible.
How much confidence do you have, Mike Schaefer, that this will happen?
I have more confidence that Nebraska will win 9 games in 2026 than the United States revamping its youth sports.
Yeah, it's not
just
one of the things like the cat is out of the bag, man. Like, you are not stuffing that toothpaste back in the tube. It's not like it sucks. It sucks that all this money that has to get spent on something as simple as kids playing sports. It basically has become a pay for play situation.
It's a cottage industry.
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. There's nothing that could be done about it. Unless a whole bunch of people banded together and said, we can't do this anymore. This can't work for us, which anytime I've ever asked for something like that to happen, it's like fixing college football. Like, we can't do this anymore. Nobody's going to do it. Nobody's good because everybody's trying to take advantage of something. It's become a microcosm of all of our sports around the country.
Yeah, I always find it to be sort of a fascinating, what do you think really changes, and then what has to change to win more games at the World Cup? Like, the idea is that you need to get better players in the system.
I think the thought process is this, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I think the thought process is this. The idea that only higher income people get the opportunity to, have their kids be shown on this national level or whatever it is, and be coached by
these great coaches or whatever at the youth level, and therefore getting the opportunities to sort of move on to the next level. And so you want it sort of like the opposite way, where you have everybody involved, or at least getting an equal opportunity to sort of show themselves. And oftentimes it's been mentioned that the best athletes, don't always come from like the higher income groups or whatever. That's what it's kind of turned out to be recently because of this system, which is not good. That's not what you want. You want it to be a representation of everybody. Therefore, it widens your net of your potential pool of great athletes, which is, I think, what you want in order to get what you want out of it.
Yeah,
I think that's the theory anyway.
I can understand that theory. I can definitely understand like the cost of athletics being preventative to allow for a greater pool of players. I think even inside of that, though, like they just simply don't have enough skill. Like the skill difference between the United States and often the European countries they tend to lose to is so vast. And a lot of this comes back to, where are the bulk of your players playing when they're not playing for you internationally? They're playing in the MLS. Yeah. And you have to get more players playing over in Europe, where they're going to play against better competition to overall increase. So it's like, it works on two levels. Yes, there needs to be less barrier of entry to sport. That's always true, but that's true of every sport. Like that's not just uniquely a soccer thing. Part of it is you have to figure out how to give the players or get the players more opportunities to go against better competition early in their career, that they can learn and develop from that.
Isn't that the very idea that's led us down to the system that we're in right now? Like it's gotten more competitive earlier, which is, I think, has done a negative impact on the youth sports as a whole.
I just don't know that I think,
and therefore the athlete pool.
Part of me, the cynical part of me, thinks that you would have gotten there even if that wasn't the end goal of trying to have a better men's national team for the world. Right. Like we're at the point, we're probably a couple years away from club T-ball being a thing.
100%. I'm sure we're already there.
Some people feel like in order to be a part of something, they need to exclude other people to therefore prop up what they're doing, which is the idiocy of club sports to me in general. And this is as someone who played club baseball and played little league, town ball, and everything. Like I played as much baseball as I could. I played both. I
was sort of fortunate because I didn't really know what was what.
Yeah.
I knew when I played this in-house, I played in-house at Suburban, right, for baseball. And then I realized, like, I think I'm okay. I think I'm pretty good at this. And so I probably need to do something else. And then I didn't know what to do after that. I didn't have any connections around town or anything. So I just tried out for a team.
Who did you play for?
The club team, the travel team. It was the Omaha Black Cats.
Okay.
Shout out to the Omaha Black Cats.
I don't recall ever playing the Black Cats.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're lucky.
Probably. I don't know.
No, we sucked.
Okay. All right. Well, I have no idea. I don't feel like we played that many Omaha teams. We played a lot of the Lincoln Rebels and Lincoln Cyclones.
Oh, man. We played all the Lincoln Rebels and Lincoln Cyclones and the Lincoln Dominators.
I don't remember playing that many Omaha teams.
Oh, man. You didn't play any Pacesetters or Taggy Rutherford?
Were the Dominators a thing?
I thought it was the Lincoln Dominators.
I thought it was Omaha, but who knows?
Anyway.
It all runs together. But all of this to say, if there's going to be a jumping off point, a lot of it has to be, yes, there's stuff that happens in the youth level. You have to get the best players that you have competing against the best in the world over and over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, some of why your best players, your most notable United States men's national team players, guys like Tim Howard and Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan and Pulisic and all of these guys, they played over in the top leagues in Europe. Like, they're at Fulham, they're at, Everton, they're at all of these different places. Like, they're not playing for Arsenal or Liverpool or, Man City or whatever, the elite, but you're still playing at the EPL or you're still playing in the Champions League if you're, over in Germany and
that I don't know the answer to. I'm not enough of an expert on soccer to answer the question of like, how do you get kids to play soccer? Like that I don't know.
Well, the kids are playing the soccer. It's how do you increase the skill level overall?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. And then
people think the answer.
that,
People think the answer to that is you have yourself a wider athlete pool.
Sure.
And that's where this youth sport thing comes into play, which I think makes a lot of sense to me.
Part of it is that there's just a lot more interest in other sports in the United States than there is in solely soccer.
That's the other thing.
And that's you're going to run into that no matter what. There's always going to be the kid that could have been a hell of a soccer player that ends up playing basketball or football or baseball or whatever.
But I think in general, that's the case in other countries as well.
Sure. It's just that soccer's always bigger there. I mean, soccer is the national sport of however many countries in the European Union. So it is not in the United States. It will never be, despite however many articles get written, that this is the time that soccer will rise to the top.
Yep. It keeps happening, though. They're going to keep riding it.
Yeah. There's also this, too. There's other ways to get better that aren't just like, oh, you have to have more skill or you have they can make tactical decisions that are differently. I mean, part of it is just trying to find someone that can actually lead the men's national team for longer than an 8-year stretch without being run off.
Maybe I was thinking about this too. Now, this is an unfleshed out thought, but
best kind.
This
really
crossed my mind the other day when I was
half-baked take.
When I was thinking about all the reactions to that disaster and whatever it was. Like, Americans are by nature, like, bigger people, right? Like, do we have too big of people to be good at soccer?
See, if that
all
was true,
tiny Europeans
the back line should
around.
just be full of dudes that aren't getting run over by Belgians.
Yeah.
But Belgium seemed much bigger than the United States throughout that contest.
Yeah. But you don't, like, in a lot of in most every sport, it is an advantage to be big.
Sure. I think it is in soccer too.
Is it?
I mean, depending.
It feels
Ronaldo is not a small guy. Messi is.
Yes.
But one of the cool
it feels
things
like I don't know if it's a disadvantage to be big, but it is not as much of an advantage to be big in soccer as it is in obviously a variety of other sports.
One of the cool things about soccer is that it plays to many different body types in the way that the basketball just can't, or even football can't. I mean, baseball a little bit more, but your Jose Altuves and Jose Ramirez's are a lot more rare compared to a 6'2" guy that,
I don't know. It's pretty sporadic across baseball. Baseball has a lot of body types.
Yeah. Well, and then your pitchers are almost always taller.
It is a distinct advantage in baseball to be bigger because you generate power and velocity from all these different things. Soccer is not that kind of sport.
No, there's a lot of different body types.
It's the same thing as golf, I think, in a lot of ways.
That's a weird cross sport, but fair.
You don't need to be giant.
Yeah.
Contrary to Bryson DeChambeau popular belief, you don't need to be giant in order to play golf well.
The best player that I have ever played around with, and he's played on the PGA, was 5'7". So, you don't have to be the biggest person in something.
And I think in some cases, like, it's an advantage to be a smaller person in soccer, and sometimes it's more compact and things like that, and you want to be able to move
weave in and out of traffic.
Yeah, I really think there might be something to that. Maybe Americans are just too big to ever be good at soccer. That's my take. That's my TikTok take of the day, by the way. Americans are too big to be good at soccer. We're too manly.
We really need to bring TikTok takes back.
I know.
It is Wednesday. We gotta work on that.
Text from the 402. I will be glad when this World Cup is over and there won't be any more soccer segments for 4 years.
It's fun.
Good luck.
Good luck with that, Dan.
It's basically over. We're not actually talking about the World Cup anymore. It's just a thought.
There's still 8 games
left. A
left.
lot of people were talking about this youth sports thing yesterday.
Soccer gets very popular every 4 years.
Yep.
With little brief snippets in there throughout.
Yep.
It's probably what it's always going to be.
And that's what it will be, because we probably won't talk about soccer again. Yeah.
My maybe most aggravating take to other people is
TikTok take.
It's okay that they're not a world power in soccer.
But we very desperately want to be.
Because part of being an American is feeling like you should be better than everyone at everything.
Hey, that's true.
We want to be
and that's
respected.
why I'm saying it's actually okay that maybe soccer isn't ever going to be the thing that you're better than the entire world.
But why not? I have
what
to
makes
be.
it fun is to chase the idea of it.
I have an unending desire to be better at everyone than everything. You know, this will never go away.
Well, the only way to fix it is to charge club sports more money to exist.
I will go to significant lengths to change this, even if it means changing the entire dynamic of youth sports in America. We must be good at soccer.
Could you imagine spending every weekend on the road, going to a different tournament somewhere every weekend of your summer?
No, I hear parents do this. I see
spring.
Parents do this all the time, and it is always bat bleep crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't
like. I am amazed. I'm amazed by the amount of money that is spent and the amount of time that is spent. I think about the amount of time I have in my life right now. There's just no way. So kudos to you, parents, for doing all of this stuff, because it is quite taxing to do it, and they do it.
They do it.
But if we could help them out a little bit and fix the youth sports system,
we are the ones to help fix.
Well, you know, we at least can bring it up on the radio. I don't know that we can actually do anything about it. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with Andy Kendi. He is a first-time guest on this show.
What a day!
I have to ask Andy about his Diet Coke consumption at the College World Series, and then a variety of local.
Should we just start by asking him how he would fix youth sports in America?
Hey, Andy, thanks for joining the show. Do you have any fix to youth sports in America?
I think it's a great exact voice, exact question.
He'd be like, thought you were going to start with, how are you? All right, we'll see how that goes right after this on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt.
Exciting day. Phil Steele out on the newsstands. You're done with the ESPN.
Read plenty.
It was just sort of a primer.
It's a primer.
Wet your whistle.
I don't know. I hate that.
You hate Wet Your Whistle?
I hate Wet Your Whistle.
Why?
Flo Rida ruined it for me.
I don't think that song's about whistling, guys.
I mean, it's about blowing a whistle.
I don't think it's about blowing a whistle.
But he says whistle and blowing every time.
I think it's one of those metaphors.
Middays with Matt. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Early Bird Brunch, not your everyday brunch, every day. Earlybirdbrunch.com.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Host Coffee stands as the vibrant heart of every break room, offering the unique fusion of traditional quality and modern flair. We're not just your coffee provider, we're the center of memorable workplace moments. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
The Pinnacle Bank Championship presented by Woodhouse is back for its 10th year. Don't miss your shot for good vibes, great memories, and unrivaled action from the biggest up-and-coming golf pros. Get your tickets for the weekend that never misses at thepinnaclebankchampionship.com.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. You've decided to buy a house. Now what? You know, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned homeowner. The home buying process is not the same as ordering something from Amazon. The biggest trick is knowing how much you really can afford before the real house hunting can begin. I mean, really know. There's no time for guessing games, which is why talking with a mortgage professional like Mortgage Specialists first can make a difference. Some house hunting websites have calculators that'll give an estimate of the monthly payments, but they aren't really reliable. It's a better idea to get an accurate payment estimate using your own personal information. That's where Mortgage Specialists can help. Really help. Find out more when you subscribe to Mortgage Matters in Minutes on our YouTube channel. Just search Mortgage Specialists LLC.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
Bring the outside in with an exclusive year-round sunroom from Remodel, Nebraska. Locally owned and operated, we design and build custom sunrooms, patio covers, decks, and more. Perfect for enjoying our changing seasons. Voted #1 Best of Omaha in sunrooms, our team turns your vision into reality. Remodel-ne.com.
Invite the outdoors in with a sunroom. Remodel, Nebraska.
If you're tired of trading one dead-end job for another, trade your job for a career. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers has positions open right now. As an IBEW electrician, you'll get training, higher pay, paid healthcare, and retirement. Build a better life for you and your family. Make it happen. Call 402-810-0789 right now. That's 402-810-0789 or get details at IBEW22.org.
Let me get personal here. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It gets a lot better than that. Right, Todd? Wouldn't you say that Dude Wipes gets a whole lot better?
Much better.
Thank you. So no matter the size of your mess from top to bottom, Dudes has you covered, confidently covered. They comfortably clean up what TP leaves behind for no more maintenance wipes. No way. Irritation, not a chance. Time to make the trade of the season and switch from toilet paper to wet, extra large Dude Wipes and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Made from 99% water and plant-sourced fibers, coming in a variety of scents and sensations like mint chill and Shea butter to protect your end zone. Join the movement for cleaner movements and live in a skid-free zone. Available at Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, hands down.
I'm Omaha Athletic Director Adrian Dow, and I want to introduce you to 3 Omaha schools that are playing a vital role in keeping our community strong. We serve nearly 600 pre-K through 8th grade students, most of whom come from disadvantaged neighborhoods. These students receive a values-based education with the family support they need. I'm a proud member of the CUES Fund Board, which supports the CUES school system. To learn more, go to CUES Schools, that's CUES schools.org.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back. Happer Schaefer rolls on here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer alongside Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola this morning from our brand new studio setup here at 50th and Dodge, which we are very, very excited about. We have our next guest on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. It is Andy Kendi from KETV. Andy, thanks for doing this. How are you?
I'm great. Congratulations on your new digs. What'd you guys do over there? First of all, by the way, I am a little annoyed that I didn't get Lauren's intro. I wanted to hear when the bleep hits the fan.
Oh, well, we could fire that up for you. Joey?
Yeah, Joey's on it.
Lauren Michelson.
I'm hoping you guys can wake me up a little bit this morning.
Lauren Michelson.
I will not feel bad for anything.
Can you hear that right now, Andy?
I cannot hear it.
Oh, okay, never mind. Just turn it off then. So you can't, for some reason, he can't hear that. Okay, that's something to note.
Okay, we're learning things
for the callers about our new
know.
studio. But yeah, we were playing it, and we do have the bleep version. The unbleep version happened in real time, and it was appropriately bleeped for those who listened on radio later, which is great.
Yeah, it was great because she had no idea she said the bad word.
I know.
She had no idea.
Which gives you a little bit of
so
idea,
normal.
maybe a window into what things are like on a daily basis, hanging around Lauren potentially.
No doubt.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm like, Lauren, there's children in the newsroom. Come on now. You're muffed. Here comes Lauren. I'm kidding. But that was just that was really a cool, like not cool, but like a funny way of kind of getting a window into Laura's personality. I tell you what,
definitely,
she's a gamer, and she's been with us for a little over 2.5 years now. I can't speak more highly of her.
Yeah, she's absolutely fantastic.
And the reason why I'm doing this is that she set up a story last night, and finally she's been grinding on the story, and you'll see it. I don't want to give it away, but she's been trying to connect. It's one thing trying to get somebody on the phone if you're a writer or whatever, but to try to get somebody to agree to sit down and do an interview is a totally other thing. And she's been going back and forth, and finally got the go ahead at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. She's already off the clock, and she texted me like, "Yep, it's a go, but I've got to be out. I got to be back at the station at 7. It's like an hour drive. So yeah, so that's 7 a.m. So that's why I'm doing this today.
Okay, well, we appreciate you stepping in as you would, and we're very much looking forward to the story. We know that
it's a grind all the time for you guys. So this is from a couple weeks ago now. I believe it was on the opening day of the College World Series, but I really have to follow up with you on the Diet Cokes thing. Okay. So we talked, I think I maybe ran into you. It's hard to tell because it feels like the beginning of the College World Series was about 6 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think I might have run into you at the very beginning there and asked you about this in person. But did you go to the method of pouring the Diet Coke into the ice cup and to mitigate your Diet Coke consumption, or how did we do over the span of the 10 plus days there?
Well, that's the preferred consumption way. That's the way I prefer to consume Diet Coke. Now, sometimes being in the dungeon, which is the local television area, the distribution center of the College World Series at the Charles Schwab Field, you're down in that like little area across from the interview room, and there is no ice there.
No.
So to get ice, you have to go all the way up to the press box. And let's just say that takes a lot of effort. And I'm more apt to just drink it straight out of the bottle at the College World Series. However, right now, you'll be happy to know I'm on Diet Coke number 2, and I don't know, you probably can't hear it, but it's over ice. So there you go. And I crushed the over-under. I think I set it at 40 for the series. So, I mean, when you're drinking 6, 7, 8, 9 a day, I know it's terrible. I get it all the time. I tell you, the person who gets on me, there's 2 people that get on me the most about my Diet Coke consumption. One, my wife, and it's not just health, but it's also cost, obviously. But the health-wise, Julie Cornell is all over me. She's like, you are ridiculous. Like, she'll just roll her eyes at me, like, you are ridiculous. Because now I'm bringing in 2 liters because it's
more cost effective. Yeah.
So absolutely. So yeah, I've had a problem. I've had a problem for years, and we'll just take it.
So I'm now curious. Like we're into this, so I need more information. Do you have like preferences? Do you need it out of a can, out of a bottle, fountain? Rank those for me. Like those 3.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Power
what's your
rankings?
preferred method of Diet Coke?
Power rankings, Diet Coke power rankings. Number 1, hands down, is McDonald's, because they, for whatever reason, have normally the freshest Diet Coke.
The greatest filters in fast food.
Yes, no question. So that's easily number 1. But number 2 would be 2-liter bottles over ice, and not just ice that you get out of the refrigerator. Normally, like the good ice, right? Like the good ice you buy in the bag for $2.50 at Baker's. That's easily number 2. And then you probably go with the 20 ounces. And then I think the lowest on the rung is a can, which, 12 ounces doesn't seem like enough for me. That's why I always go and my wife, Wendy, bought a pallet at Costco, like those 35 seals, 35 cans in the pallet at Costco the other day. And that's great just from a volume standpoint. But, it's tough because when you're drinking out of a 2-liter, you are filling it up, and that's more than 12 ounces. So what do you do? Do you do 2 12 ounces, or do you do 1 and want more? So I'm usually like, I get up, I have a cup of coffee and 2 Diet Cokes, and that's where I'm at.
I respect that so much.
This is incredible. All right, I have a follow-up now.
Yes.
Famously, the institution where you spend a fair amount of time, Nebraska, is a Pepsi school. What are you doing up in the press box there?
Contraband.
Are you like Michael Severe, who would smuggle in his Coke Zeros for every game?
No. I when it comes to cost, I do not discriminate. And if it's free, that usually jumps to the head of the line. I'll drink a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi or 2.
Okay.
And in fact, I've been known at the store every once in a while, if Diet Pepsi's, 2 for $4 and Diet Coke's 2 for $6 for the 2 liters, I might go Diet Pepsi for a week.
So you're not like a hardliner. Like my dad refused Diet Pepsi, would only drink Diet Coke, and then would accost restaurants for not having a Coke contract.
Yeah, I've been I have had that phase in my life, but now, when cost is becoming more of an issue, because whatever happened in the last 3 years, Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi, all the soda prices gone through the roof. So I really kind of look at now. I'm not going to like Big K or whatever they call it, or Cola, or the generic, or Dr. Thunder, or the the knockoffs. I'm not doing those. I'm not that cost conscious. I'm not that cheap. But between Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi, if there's a huge difference, I'll go Diet Pepsi every once in a while just to mix it up.
I'll tell you what, I don't mind the RC Cola. I don't see it as much anymore, but I don't mind
Like
the RC
Diet RC Cola or regular?
Just RC Cola.
Yeah, I like RC Cola actually, just in general.
Yeah, I grew up with RC Cola, fellas, and I'll tell you this. You can get it at Walmart, by the way. And back in the day, this might be a little before your guys' time, but they used to have baseball, like not cards, but pictures and stats of baseball players on RC Cola cans, and I used to collect those. Those were the days.
Tremendous.
That's cool.
Tremendous.
Bring that back.
It's like,
and that's the other thing. Like, I think this generation has missed out on like looking at the bottom of Twinkies and Ho-Hos and Ding Dongs, because those used to have baseball cards on the bottom of it. I don't know why Major League Baseball doesn't do a licensing agreement with Hostess again, or with RC Cola, or one of those deals.
Andy, do kids look at cereal boxes anymore, or the front of
Our
Wheaties
son got
boxes?
a toy out of a cereal box recently.
That's good. It's a good sign anyway.
Do you guys remember? This might be before your time too. They used to do little like mini bobbleheads on Post cereal for baseball guys about 30 years ago or 25 years ago, because I still have a handful of those, like little bobblehead Ichiro.
Ooh, I do not remember
Ichiro. Yeah, vaguely. There's something
Post cereal.
Yeah, it was a Post cereal promotion.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Hey, and one more thing. As we're working through kinks in the new studio, I'm starting to hear my echo in my ears as I talk.
Whoa. Why do you think that is, Joey? Is there?
Good question. I will ask the engineers.
Put it on the list.
In broadcast, sometimes they call it a lack of mix minus. Oh, now it's gone. So whatever you did worked. So you want the mix minus in your ears. And
Okay.
I think you guys just fixed it.
There's going to have to be some more testing involved with this, but we'll get around to it. Okay. So summer is an interesting time for the folks. I feel like we end up asking Lauren about this type of stuff every week, but like you said, she's grinding. She's always got something that she's doing. What, as a station, are you in full like football season prep mode, high school football preview stuff, college football preview stuff? Obviously media days in a couple weeks. Where are you at right now as far as like the summer schedule and calendar goes post College World Series?
Well, this is squeezing your vacation time for most of us, right?
Smart.
You try to get it all done before football starts, at least most of it done. And this is no doubt the slowest time of the year. So if there's any story ideas, have at it. Please feel free to DM us or email the station. But this is the time that you go chasing stories. Actually, I probably can tell you, Lauren's finally connected with Shayla Rottenberg, and so she's in Milford this morning. So
there you go.
That's what she's doing. And like something like that. You can do that type of story in July and certain days in August when football's not available, where you couldn't do it in the middle of the school year. So this is a good time of year to get some of those personal profiles out and some of these unique stories. We are in the planning process of football. Like I have a meeting this afternoon about X's and O's in terms of how we're going to attack the season, in terms of who's going to what trip, how we're going to schedule people and all that. So not just college, but high school football. And now the uniqueness of the volleyball schedule is throwing a couple curveballs to us. Like, who's going to go to Wrigley Field? Do we go to Wrigley Field to even entertain going to Vegas? I've already put my hand up to go cover the opener in Las Vegas, or even Jerry World. But we'll see what happens. But this is really the planning period and getting vacation. It's tough because everybody have their own vacation times. And the count, I'm again, old school. I have an old, like one of those huge big calendars on our desk at work. And I handwrite who's working. And I just got to make sure that somebody's in to anchor every day, which isn't always a guarantee. So the scheduling is the top priority. Make sure somebody shows up to anchor.
You kind of mentioned it. I was curious, coming off of a year like Nebraska athletics had, where you had all of the success of all of these different things, and you were down in Oklahoma City for Nebraska basketball, and you had someone down in Oklahoma City again for the College World Series, or the Women's College World Series. I am kind of curious. You mentioned it with volleyball. Like, you look at the way college athletics is sort of trending with a lot of these neutral site games. Do you feel some pressure of making sure that you have people at Des Moines when Creighton takes on Iowa, or when Nebraska is playing Missouri and Kansas City, or when they're up in Sioux Falls for basketball. Like, do you feel pressure to kind of make sure that you have people at all of these things, especially in Nebraska athletics, coming off of a year like it did in 25, 26?
It's more of a priority in 2026 than it was 2 years ago. That's a great point. And, it started with the Sioux Falls stuff. It was kind of a one-off. And now it's like, well, if it's in the footprint, if it's a day trip, if it's Des Moines, if it's Sioux Falls, Kansas City. I mean, you really should make the effort to make that trip happen. Now, can you go to everything? Of course not. There's just too many, there's so many hours in the week. The Las Vegas thing for volleyball, or the Jerry World thing for volleyball, that's a tough ask, especially as we started the calendar year budget. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but you budget a certain amount of money, as you guys know, and we crushed the sports budget at the beginning of the year because of all the basketball success, which was unprecedented. And it's funny. I love when we are accused of breaking the budget. It's like, well, if you guys didn't have to go to men's basketball, it's like, well, sorry that they just had an historic run in the NCAA tournament. That's just the way it goes. But and that's said tongue in cheek, because they know the importance of, in this day and age, like, what are the things that really drive local news? Well, weather, obviously, number one. Bill Ramby's sleeves. That kind of runs the world. And another high priority is sports, especially Husker football, but not just Husker football anymore. Husker volleyball has taken center stage, and basketball has really shown that there's an appetite that people will gobble that coverage up. And obviously, Schaefer, when we bumped into you in Oklahoma City, that was one of the more memorable events that I've ever covered in my career, and one of the greatest outpourings of support for any fan bases I've ever seen in my life. It was unbelievable, and I know it didn't end well the next week in Houston, but that won't take away from what we saw in Oklahoma City. And it's events like that, and it's not just what you see on the 6 and 10 o'clock news. It's also what you see on social media and whatever we can do. I can't tell you how many people, will say, hey, when you and Lauren do those goofy little vertical things online,
those are so funny.
And yeah, they're just ridiculous. And I always say to Lauren, like, it's better when we don't plan it.
Like when you're in the airport security line, right?
Yeah, just turn on the camera, see what happens.
Security line, right. And Senator Ricketts tweets Lauren's thing, or my tweet about Lauren. Oh, by the way, that thing that we're talking about. So I take a picture of Lauren. She thinks I'm sending it to my wife, because my wife and Lauren are friends. And she's like, I didn't know you were going to post it. I look terrible. And then all of a sudden it gets picked up. The senator from Pete Ricketts quote tweets her. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you posted that. So it was great. Good stuff.
Fantastic. Andy Kendi from KETV. Andy, thanks for doing this. Thanks for dropping by. We appreciate it. Hopefully we got the phone kinks worked out. But thanks for being our guinea pig.
Oh, anytime. And I will be your pitch hitter any day of the week. You just let me know.
Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
That is Andy Kendi from KETV. You know what he's right about? We love weather.
We do love weather.
We love weather. We love Ramby. We love all of our local meteorologists. They're just fantastic. I will watch the local newscast.
Well, like, yeah, Ramby rolls those sleeves. He's like, yep.
All of a sudden, people
when the sleeves are getting rolled, people are locked in.
And the choices that they as a news, like, they have to know. They definitely know this, right? As a news organization, KTV or WWT, like whatever it is, you know that you're being judged acutely on how you handle the cut-ins and cutaways on severe weather, and what kind of that is peak television watching time right there.
So my in-laws are very in tune to everything happening weather-wise, and when there's severe weather, they're going back and forth in a family group chat about Ramby says this, they're saying this, and they have very strong opinions.
I don't know, Rusty Lauren's got it different. What's going on?
I have never been a weather person the way that my in-laws are.
It's weather wars.
They seem to be more of the norm than me, who's just oblivious to all of it.
Oh no, yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in the local weather wars for sure.
I'm just like standing on the outside. Do I need an umbrella or what? Like
Schaefer's like, the weather will
no,
come
you
to
don't
me.
need an umbrella. Get to your basement now.
It's called preparation, baby. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and round things out after this on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone. Middays with Matt.
We are in the NIL era where it has never been easier to put teams. It has never been easier to acquire players. It has never been more accessible to watch film, to watch a player, to say, that player's good, that player will fit in our system, and then acquire that player. Gone are the days where all the previous success mattered so much to the point of your recruitment. It still matters, but it does not matter as much as it does. What matters is money and dollars and evaluation and development. And it's never, ever been easy to go from having your team being average to then making them really good, or having your team going from bad to making them very competitive. It has never been easier. Indiana won a national championship, everybody. When I ask somebody, what are your expectations for Nebraska football if there were to be a 2014 college football playoff, and you go, well, they haven't been top 25 since 2013, or they haven't been able to have this success in this decade. I don't give a damn about the past. And Nebraska football has invested enough resources, whether it be through coaching, or whether it be through acquisition of players, or whether it be through facilities, or whether it be through nutrition, to year in and year out be one of the best 24 teams in the country. The bar to make the college football playoff is not that high when it's 2014. I don't agree at all with making the college football playoff 2 every 6 years. It's a 2014 playoff. Viewing it from the macro perspective, Nebraska is good, invest enough to be in the top 24 year in and year out.
Middays with Matt. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 deadliest days. It accounts for nearly 1/3 of Nebraska's traffic deaths. Sadly, 58 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In the heart of the Midwest, dependable transportation keeps America moving, and Liquid Trucking prides themselves in being one of the highest quality liquid transport services out of the Midwest, servicing the continental U.S. and Canada. When it comes to hauling agriculture products, food-grade liquids, and hazardous materials, you need a partner you can trust. Our well-qualified tanker drivers, specialty equipment, and strict safety standards ensure every load moves safely, reliably, and are on time. Get a quote today at liquidtrucking.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 13340 California, Omaha.
This is Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
John Bishop commented in before on the YouTube stream, I cannot help but be memorized by watching the cars pass behind Connor and then past Schaefer. Yeah, it's funny, especially when it's only the two of us and Joey's not there to break it up in the middle, where you could see the car. There's a blue car and there's a blue car on Schaefer's side. But now it's a little glared out on the background. Tons of new games and activities here at our new 1620 The Zone studio. I'd like to direct your attention to there was a Seth Wickersham story yesterday. Uh-oh. What happens when there's a Seth Wickersham story? It's probably something about Bill Belichick or the Patriots or something like that. He writes, in January, I spent the playoffs embedded with Sean Payton and the Broncos. 16-hour days, capturing every meeting decision, raw and unfiltered creativity, energy, desperation, rage, joy, and loneliness of trying to win in the second season. It's a good story on ESPN. You can take a look and listen to the story or read the story if you want to. But here's a part of it. And Schefter, who of course is just an aggregator / popular, he just takes like the clickbait stuff and excerpts it. He did this yesterday from the Wickersham story. When Bill Belichick and the Patriots divorced in 2024, Sean Payton considered presenting Broncos owner Greg Penner a proposal for the ages. Hire Belichick as head coach until he reached 15 wins, which would be enough to break Don Shula's career record of 347. Then Payton would temporarily step down to assistant head coach, run the offense while Belichick was there, get his 15 wins, and then Belichick would retire after he became the all-time leader in wins, and Sean Payton would take over the team at that point. That was Sean Payton's idea. What a crazy time that would have been.
That would be wild.
Ultimately, Wickersham writes, it was too complicated and maybe too fanciful. I think probably a little bit fanciful.
Smidge fanciful. If you're Bill Belichick, would that feel... I can't imagine that would feel good.
I feel like pandering, It's just like come on, man. Like, don't do that.
It doesn't... Okay, you want me to be the head coach until I get this record that now feels incredibly hollow, and then I won't be the coach anymore?
That's a great question. Like, do I really want the record so bad? Am I that egotistical where I want the record so bad that I have to go be the Broncos coach for exactly how many games it takes for me to get the record? That's like the most egotistical thing that you could possibly do.
One of the things that's always weird to me is when we determine that someone has reached a new level because they've surpassed. Like, I don't have any strong opinion on Don Shula's coaching career.
No.
I didn't need 15 more wins from Bill Belichick to think that he was one of, if not the greatest coach that I have ever seen in the NFL.
I know.
And so
there's very few things where I'm like, oh yeah, that guy should definitely have the record for that thing all time. Because if we're talking about the 2 or 3 best wins, touchdowns, like home runs.
Sure.
We're already talking about the best handful of guys in that sports history. Or whatever.
You're splitting hairs at such an extreme that it's meaningless.
Yeah, you're right. I don't care who the best is.
Right.
I just care who's among the best. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just I don't know whose opinion changes if Bill Belichick gets 15 more wins, other than his innate desire to be the person that has that, which is a real thing. There's people that want to put their name on stuff, and maybe that's what it would be. I don't know if he's that person or not.
I don't either.
And no one gave him the opportunity, so it didn't really matter.
Well, I guess
And
you
now
could
he
count his
can't
wins in
win.
North Carolina. It might take him 6 more years to get there.
How many years to get to 15 wins at North Carolina?
How many games did they win last year?
4?
I thought it was 4 or 5.
Yeah. 4 is what I have in my head. It could be 5.
Let's find out. They did go 4-8 last year. 4-8. Are they going to be better this year?
Blindly, more wins in 2026, Nebraska or North Carolina.
Nebraska.
I'm going Nebraska as well.
I'm not confident.
I got to look at the schedule.
This
for North
feels like a
Carolina.
poll question.
I don't know what North Carolina has or doesn't have or what their schedule looks like this year, but I would think Nebraska lands somewhere around, 6 or 7. Do it. Yeah, Joey, thank you. 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know. Oh, we should do floors and ceilings on this show, as everybody else is doing. I know you've done it on your
on
the
your podcast.
On your podcast as well. But somewhere in that range, North Carolina, I don't know. Are they gonna get to a bowl game?
We'll do floors and ceilings on Monday.
Floors and ceilings when Mike Schaefer returns
I'm
to the
outta here.
show. He's gone. He's going to the land of
Lakes.
9.
The land of 9. Maybe I'll see JJ McCarthy.
He'll probably be out there on the golf course.
Does he golf?
I don't know. Probably.
He just does yoga, from what I understand.
He'll be out there on the yoga course.
He would be.
Something like that. All right, Joey, fire it away. That's it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Time for our very first crossover in the new studio coming up next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio,